When a pit bull sees a baby, well, it doesn't see a kid. It sees a nice pork chop in a big old rack of ribs. It sees some drumstick legs and some tiny hot dog toes. It sees some chicken wings and a cute beef jerky nose. When a pit bull says what's shaking, well, it doesn't mean what's up. 'Cause the only shaking that a pit bull knows is left, right, down, and up. And when a pit bull asks you for a treat, it ain't talking about kibbles and bits. The pit bull wants a treat is in your child's ears and lips. If the song Who Let the Dogs Out was a song about some pits, well, it wouldn't be that fun of a song, 'cause everyone would be scared as shit. And there was just a shark attack, but it isn't what you think. A pit bull killed a bunch of baby sharks inside their tank. 'Cause when a pit bull sees a baby, well, it doesn't see a kid. It sees a nice pork chop in a big old rack of ribs. It sees some drumstick legs and some tiny hot dog toes. It sees some chicken wings and a cute beef jerky nose. And if you're listening to this song, well, you might think it's a diss, but I actually love pit bulls 'cause of how much I hate kids. So I say pit bulls in every home, pit bulls in every school, and every single student could be used as pit bull food. A pit bull thought I was a kid and I almost got ate, so I had to show him my ID to prove I wasn't in 5th grade. And the only reason I wrote this song was as a PSA, so I could let these pit bulls know that I'm of drinking age. 'Cause when a pit bull sees a baby, well, it doesn't see a kid. It sees a nice pork chop in a big old rack of ribs. It sees some drumstick legs and some tiny hot dog toes. It sees some chicken wings and a cute beef jerky nose. God bless the pit bulls.
Good morning. I'm gonna be honest. I'm annoyed on different layers of levels, and it all stems from that whole brick lady thing. So, might I say, as my camera decided, you know what we're not gonna do? Work. You know? Hold on. Because this always seems to work. That always seems to work. I'm tired. I won't lie, I'm tired. I don't even have my lights on. But before I get to the electric Boogaloo that is this failed pedo hunting filmmaker, which is what I will call him from now on. First of all, thanks everybody who bothered to show up to the stream from yesterday and the stream that was impromptu last night on my main channel. Bro is tired. The reason why I'm tired is because, so obviously I'm turning that into a YouTube video, and I was doing that, and because I rewatched myself reading that entire thing and I looked tired as shit, I had to like do a little prompt too, which is, hey, just so you know, you're about to watch this. I don't think I explained my point very clear or concise. And I did that. And as I was doing that, another fucking article came out. And personally, I just want to say this the morning of January 18th, 2024, that you're going to see a lot of people misconstrue this article that came out about Brick Lady. They're going to talk about how there wasn't added information about how she went to the police and reported it, or how she went to the hospital and reported it. They're going to talk about how it was a black woman that wrote the article. They're going to talk about how much they hate black men. They're going to bring up some false equivalency. None of these people are going to bring up the second article that came out the same day, which debunks the entire concept of her being a victim and somebody not being able to handle rejection. None of these people are going to be as loud as they were when this first happened, just to say, hey, backed the wrong horse, jumped on this full throttle, my bad, I'm sorry, we'll do better next time. Because the smart thing is to do that. The dumb thing is to look at a bunch of people and come up with false equivalencies, talk about how black men can't do this, can't do that, talk about how black women can't do this, can't do that, instead of just saying, hey, we believe this 100% without additional information. And then once that additional information came out, we instead should say, yeah, backed the wrong horse there, my bad. That's going to be all day today. So that's going to be fun to do another video pertaining that. That's going to be great. That's going to be great. And I already got at least 13 minutes of the usual suspects who when this first popped off was already throwing out some weak ass excuses. And as these past 10 hours have gone by, they trying it. And none of it's sticking because none of these people are looking at that second article from the same website. It ain't no different website. Click to Houston dot whatever. That's the same website. And motherfuckers are not looking at that article. They're not. Because if you look at the first one, you could come up with your false equivalencies and do whatever you want with that. But if you read the second one, the whole conversation about Brick, the whole conversation about a phone number, the whole conversation about man can't handle rejection, so she just got hit with a brick, all of that shit falls apart. What you take away from this shit altogether is motherfuckers need to keep their hands to themselves. That's all you gotta do. That's all you got to fucking do. And these motherfuckers seemingly will not say that, and they will do these think pieces about how black women in the wrong, black men in the wrong, don't date black men, don't date black women. And then y'all wonder why the white people beating us. Still to this day. But you know what? The one thing I don't want to hear, out of all that shit I just said, the one thing I really don't want to hear is anybody talking about, okay, let's focus on real issues. Y'all made this a real issue. Don't get mad because it didn't go the way you wanted. That's all you gotta fucking. And with that being said, let's turn our attention to the usual formula of how we do these reactions, because I'm not sitting with this camera on and this light in my face. I am going to learn once more, even more information about our favorite pedo filmmaker who fails at his job, because that's fun. Oh, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm tired, but I'll get through it. I'll get through it. I'm good for it. I'm good to get through it. So, Mutahar, go ahead and give me what you know about. I'm 1.2 in this speed. I'm 1.2 in it. Should I 1.5? I'm 1.5 just to see how he sounds.
Most serious I might have made in my entire career on this platform.
I'm sticking with 1.5.
It's a video I don't want to make because it's personally so uncomfortable. It's a video about someone I and many in the community consider a friend. Today, I personally don't consider this person a friend. I consider them a liar, both professionally and on a personal level regarding very personal things. But that's me going into things that I shouldn't need to. I also didn't want to make a video on this because I'm not an expert on the topics that we are completely discussing today. As you know, when I upload things to my channel, it can be about computer software, it can be about creepy games, it can be browsing the weirder side of the internet.
Well, good morning. McMuffin, we don't want to hear you. Just shut up. It's not your time. It's very quiet, calm morning where we learn about failed pedo hunting filmmaker.
the deep web. It can be looking at trending things. It could be a bunch of stuff, mostly lighthearted. And yes, I do occasionally dip into things that are very serious. But when it comes to situations regarding, situations regarding trafficking and whatnot, I am not an expert. That is something.
Too bad. Fuck you. I don't have the energy for you. I don't. I'm tired. When I'm done here, I already edited another YouTube video. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the TikToks to come out of a bunch of people who are still defending this woman to the death. Leon, when do you consider people in the internet your friends? Once I develop a level of trust and I see that you're consistent in what it is you believe in. When you kind of step away from that, or you kind of make excuses, or you kind of don't do that and you just put on a facade for the internet, that's when I kind of say deuces. It irks my soul. It really does. All right, I'm pressing play.
Something for the law enforcement, for lawyers, for professionals to appropriately handle. I don't even think YouTubers should be the ones that are running cases like
Correct.
this. Because in a vast majority of cases, most of them aren't well equipped.
Correct.
In this situation, this creator specifically that we are talking about is Mamamax. Now, Mamamax is a channel with 746,000 subscribers, a filmmaker dedicated to empowering children. Throughout his career, Mamamax has covered topics such as his Life Sucks series, anime reviews, but what most people know Max for is his Predator hunts, videos where Max claims to infiltrate dark corners of social media. He's made very popular videos and gained a lot of respect in the larger YouTube community. Predator hunting is a popular topic on the internet and YouTube in general, and it's seen a bit of a resurgence in recent years with very high-profile cases such as EDP445, caught in a massive YouTube sting operation.
What a great colossal fuck up that was. He could have been arrested, but we had to wait days because these motherfuckers want to do teases of it and live streams and wait for it to be monetized because, catching a pedo is hard work. And, we need to recoup funds before we, lock away a criminal, right? That's right?
In an alleged meetup of a minor. Nowadays, the predator poaching channels that exist are a dime a dozen, and a big fear of these channels that a lot of the community has is that in the grand majority, for clicks and revenue, basic investigative and evidentiary rules aren't met, and law enforcement in many cases is not even involved until well after the fact. And it's caused a serious problem in letting actual evil people walk free because of technicalities and failing to follow basic evidentiary patterns, when in realistic fashion, if law enforcement was involved, these people would be tried in a court of law. That said, Mamamax has committed almost every single sin in the book in the hunt for who he believes is one of the most evil predators currently walking in the world today. So why am I talking about him so negatively now? Because again, like I said, Max has recently made several videos, 3 in particular, making what I believe to be a mockery of these types of serious investigations.
Yes.
Max has covered a story he claims is peppered with human trafficking, cult worship, and brainwashing, and violent abuse. Topics that are incredibly serious, and as I've said, I am not a key expert on. Topics where real victims exist and continue to exist on a daily basis.
You know what I think will be the moral? I can't say that fucking phrase anymore without thinking about good buddy moral. But you know what I think now when I fucking look at this? Number one, YouTubers should be banned from this platform for this shit. They should. Like, ain't even something that should be up for discussion. You should be banned for this shit. But like, Jesus Christ, if you are really not equipped to speak on this shit or like talk about it in an informed, concise manner, just don't. Just don't. You could give an opinion that's like basic as, oh man, I thought this was bad, and that'll be fine. But if you gotta go in depth enough to where you have actual victims coming to you to get their stories out there to get justice, you are out of your field of vision, my boy.
So let's get started. This is the story of how Mamamax has failed what he considers a very serious investigation, and a prime example of how YouTubers should not be involved with serious situations like
and should be banned.
So let's start off with the story. The story begins on October 3rd, 2023, where Max sends me a message on Discord. Hey Muda, I hope you've been well.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep saying YouTubers should be banned for this shit.
Don't want to bother, but I thought you might appreciate a heads up about an upcoming project of mine. I'm on the verge of releasing a video for Halloween that is likely to generate significant drama. While it may be deemed controversial, the intent behind it is for charity. The video is designed to be a trap for reaction channels. Knowing your integrity and the quality of your content, I would hate for you to be caught off guard. At the same time, we would be honored if you would consider covering this in a thoughtful manner. To facilitate a deeper discussion, may I include you in a group chat with other influencers who are also considering covering this topic. If confidentiality is not an issue, I'd be more than happy to send you the video under a non-disclosure agreement. This will allow you to become familiar with the video's content before it goes public, enabling you to navigate any provocative elements we've included. Look forward to hearing from you, Max. Now, to understand, initially I read this and said, I'm down to hop in, man. Good to hear from you. Hope everything is well. And again, Max says, it's good to hear from you as well, bro. I'll add you in a few moments. Hey, Muda, just wanted to know your current thoughts within the group chat. Now, if you notice the exact dates of these messages, you'll probably pick up that around this time in October, I was already busy with a massive investigation under our belt. In the following weeks from my response to Max...
So, like, I know I don't have him subscribed on my YouTube channel. It's because I have another fucking account to where I could just fucking watch all my favorite YouTubers. The whole gist of Muda is he does videos about tech, cyber hacks, codes, and all. Fuck, that's all he does. And it takes time to do this shit. And if he's dedicating time to different shit, he won't have time for your shitty filmmaking about pedo hunting.
I would release a video on the completionist and further investigate that situation with a fellow YouTuber known as Carl Jobst. I was also in and out of the country for personal reasons, and I wasn't really able for anything else, I wasn't really available for doing anything, as you can assume during this time. I was mostly away from Discord, and if you really wanted to contact me, using Twitter to directly message me or calling me on my personal cell phone is usually the best tactic, which a lot of people in the scene, if you need to absolutely contact me, have. That said, I can't confirm what happened in the group chat Max invited me to, as I honestly don't remember checking it, nor which creators were in that specifically. So a few days after inviting me to this group, Max inquires and asks, Mudahar, it's been a bit since we've caught up, and I get that your plate is probably overflowing, but I wanted to touch base again. Sorry if our previous chats have been a bit heavy. These issues are really close to my heart, and that's exactly why we need to keep the conversation going. You've got a seriously powerful platform, and within your reach, we could really make some noise for the betterment of children's lives. Just a little bit of your time could go a long way. No pressure to dive into the subject, but if you could spare a couple of hours for an interview, I believe we could spark some real change.
Ain't no pressure for the subject, but, I'd appreciate your help.
There a time that works for both of us to sit down and talk for an initial engagement. A few days later, Max says, I'm reaching out again because the voices of child survivors cannot be ignored. I've shared their...
I'm not pressuring you, but guess what? I'm going to reach out again to tell you that, the voices, the children, they're dying. They're being bent over by Bill Cosby right now. Muda, help us.
...stories with you because I believed in your capacity for empathy and action. Your silence so far has been disheartening, but I still remain hopeful. Please understand, we are determined to be heard, and will continue to seek influencers who have the power to do something heroic. Watching the attached video and acknowledging their plight is all we are asking right now. I hope you will not let us down. Now, obviously, the end of this, you can see that it becomes very apparent that Max is emotionally guilting me into speaking and promoting a topic that I haven't actually seen much concrete evidence on, nor do I know much about, because it doesn't publicly exist, at least the evidence as far as today, and also because I'm working on another video for my channel as well, a very serious investigation that I have to be 100% on. Max sends me more videos that have since been privated, originally unlisted, and these videos, according to the time frame sent, I didn't see since, as you can imagine, I was preoccupied with my own investigation. The next video he sends me was originally titled, This is the Greatest Cancellation of All Time, @Penguin0, #WeAreReal. The title in the original play was a play on Charlie's content, in which his descriptions are always, this is the greatest blank of all time. And the thumbnail being Charlie initially had me worried that something nefarious was going on or about to come out on a close online associate, given the nature of Max's predatory hunting content. This video was never a cancellation on Charlie, but rather severe clickbait, to draw eyes and then shift attention briefly to the story Max is covering, and then focus on cults, misinformation, and artificial intelligence in our world. At this time, I respond back. Max, I've seen your latest video and have caught up with this whole situation. I haven't seen the 5-hour podcast with Spencer, who is one of the victims. She has her own channel, where she posted a 4 to 5 hour account of her involvement and experience with this cult that we are going to look into. It's quite long, and I feel the story could do with a bit more structure. This is a serious matter, and I have no issues covering it. I would like the victims to seek proper restitution, but going it in this manner isn't the best. I would be down to talk further with these victims and analyze this evidence.
And just to say, do you understand? Yesterday we had so much fun. Yesterday we had so much fun because one of the victims or one of Mamamax's allies blocked me on Twitter and was saying that I was defending pedos, but the structure of that never made a lick of sense. It never was founded under any form of truth. And all I was asking was for anybody who's in Mamamax's defense camp to understand, or at least explain to me, how it's fine to just falsely make a video that makes it seem as if another YouTuber is a predator and think that that's going to get more people to pay attention to you and look at you credibly. I'm sorry, but no. Are you in a blockchain? No, I actively was being a troll to this motherfucker and got blocked for it because they were lying, saying that I was defending pedos. So I had to make a joke out of it.
If their claims are as solid as it's being depicted, and at this moment, Max had literally called the person in this video. He wasn't alleging, he was actually materially accusing them of...
On March 18th, 2016, Spencer, a 16-year-old girl from Wiley, Texas, mysteriously disappeared, lured by the illusion of joining a supernatural family as a vampire on some random corner of the internet. She actually found herself ensnared in a dangerous cult led by a child predator posing as a werewolf god. The man had recruited hundreds of young children, subjecting them to sending CP, assault, and attempted trafficking. Almost 7 years later, Spencer and the other survivors shared their stories with me. This video serves as their scream for action against their perpetrator.
A few minutes later, towards a text crawl at the end of the video, you can see that he puts an entire full name, pinning those serious accusations on this person who is alleged to be this cult leader. So these were very, very serious accusations, which need to be matched with very, very serious, corroborative, ironclad evidence. The videos you produce don't damn Cameron. A lot of the screenshots don't punch hard since they're on screen for less than a second and lack the required context. If you want this person to be damned and attract the attention of a broader community, we need to sit down and piece this together out from—
Hannah, go away with these fucking vampire emotes. Like, y'all are making me choke. Like all of this makes me want to gag in the worst way possible.
Beginning to its current stages in a damning but digestible manner. The story has a beginning, and we need to start there. And that's where I'm going to leave these messages at, okay? Obviously, I communicated with Max privately about the situation, but as we are making this video now, it's evolved into an entire miasma of complete confusion for people jumping in. And if you're confused now, just wait until we dig in further. Now, it's understandable that the story actually belongs to Max. Max was the first one to bring it to YouTube, and when you're making incredibly serious claims like he was making, they require incredibly serious corroborative evidence. You can't necessarily go to any YouTuber—
Chris, stop. Chris, are you free, or is your power still out? Come on, white boy. You gave me the fuel of fire. White boy. Oh, look, a yellow vampire. That's great. Chris, where are you? Where are you? Pick up. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. I know you ain't doing nothing. I'm free for a bit. Bring your ass.
Wait, what?
Dog, I am dog shit tired.
Yeah, I could tell.
Have you known what I've done for like the past 10 hours?
Probably editing videos and watching Nick's video last night.
So look, I did that, and I was like,
and the Brick Lady stream.
Like, I did that, and I was like, all right, guys, see y'all tomorrow, because you fuckers were like, oh, Muda dropped this video. That was what I was gonna do today. But then this Brick Lady shit came out, and I'm literally sitting where I am now, looking at the screen, and I'm like, I don't have the fucking will to make a video. Let's just go live. And I did. It's great. Fun times. Nice little, I think 400 people show up. Great times. Jesus fucking Christ, I'm tired. And what made it worse is that more shit came out. Stop fucking typing in my chat.
Well, it's just more Blackula.
Pay attention to me. And it's like,
hold on, Blackula is of the utmost importance, Leon. You don't care about the children. Remember, you're protecting pedophiles.
Right. What a great fucking segue. So this fucking article comes out, this second one comes out, completely shits on the entire concept of everything that pertained to this entire story of a woman getting hit because she rejected somebody asking for a phone number. And I don't know if you just showed up, but at the start of this shit, I said, y'all gonna see people make TikToks talking about this fucking article without mentioning the second one, and it's gonna piss me the fuck off.
And it happened.
It's gonna happen all day today, and I can't wait. I'm excited.
Well, you're gonna make some good videos.
I already got one.
That from what you're saying, you probably can milk 3 out of that.
I'm not milking 3 out of this.
You can milk 3 out of it.
I'm gonna tell you right now why I'm not milking 3 out of this. One,
why?
The reason is because as I was like editing me just reading the article and turning it into a video, the second article dropped, and would any other YouTuber would have turned it to a second video, I just said fuck it. I added that into that one video. So that's 26 minutes long. So
damn,
that's how you do that. So
you work today, bro.
All right, so you're probably just gonna get one more out of me when it pertains to this, and that'll probably be 40 minutes of me just screaming into the ether and showing proof that people said shit months ago that they're dying on the heels at now.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
How do you feel about black vampires?
Same way I feel about a black Santa Claus.
I don't know your take on Black Santa Claus.
Fictional.
But it's not, though.
It is.
But it's not.
So look, Chris, no pressure.
He's a real pedophile vampire.
Chris, no pressure, but I have this video coming out, and I would really love your input on it, and I would really love for you to put your, like, head to the sand on this.
Credibility.
Yes, because you have a large audience of people who are speds, so they'll like stupid shit like this. So no pressure, but the screams of the dead children who are being raped right now, also at the same time, they need you.
Where's the proof?
I mean, fuck, but you're missing the point of the dead children.
But wait. But how many dead children are there?
It doesn't matter. There's dead children. Don't you care?
What do you mean?
Don't
There's
you
a
care?
lot of dead. I need to know how the dead children happened.
But they're dead. Don't you hear their screams?
I don't hear their screams. Are you schizophrenic?
Source, trust me, bro.
I'm not really going to take that source.
Well, why not? Seems like you're
What
protecting
what kind of video have you made to like put this all together?
Oh, a hit piece on 50 different YouTubers. But I got President Obama. I got Biden. Their large platforms can really get me going, bro.
So wait, are you making a video talking about the Predator, or are you talking about YouTubers?
Oh, it's fuck. What? Hold on. Let me go hug hold on. Let me go hug one of the victims real quick.
Let me go hug my girlfriend real quick.
That was his girlfriend? I thought it was
I think that's his girlfriend.
I thought it was one of the fucking victims.
Nah, Spencer's the only one that lives there, and she's not that skinny, so I'm assuming it's Max's girlfriend.
Are you being
fat phobic? Yes.
My goodness.
I literally have no issue with that. I am publicly fat phobic.
I'm still wanting somebody who's on Mamamax's side to fucking help me here.
Oh yeah. I know a great person that's on his side.
Yeah, not that one.
They're called Red Pagan. You ever heard about them?
Yeah, not that one. Like, come
on, man.
Can I get somebody
totally non-schizophrenic, dude?
Can I get somebody with a fucking brain, please? Like,
no, it's over, bro. From what I've heard privately, even people like Nexpo and shit. I don't know if it's 100% Nexpo, but like people that run in that circle have all like disavowed Max privately.
That's great. Can you do it publicly and stop being?
Yeah, it would be great, but they're not doing it.
So what's your people?
Muda's the only one that's like that's taken like the public initiative to basically say fuck Max. I think it's kind of gay if you ask me. But I don't want to do the whole guilt by association thing. Just because they supported Max at one point doesn't mean that they knew that he was a complete charlatan and a fraud. But if you just watch his content, you can kind of you could have told from the beginning, you know? Like literally, half of the shit is completely all of it's fake. I'm just gonna say all. I'm not even gonna say half. It's all fake.
Are we proud of the shit we do?
No. Well, I like what I do. I wouldn't say I'm proud of it. It's gonna be like the greatest fucking brainchild of my life, but it's just fun for me. Somebody like Max like genuinely believes it's like the magnum opus of his life, that he's like actually doing something important.
This fucker's taking people's trauma and turning it into shitty YouTube videos.
Yes.
Like
this is the argument I had for like the H Bomber guy thing. It's like everyone takes YouTube videos way too fucking seriously. Like, I don't get why people think YouTube videos are more important than what they are. It's just people uploading what they want to upload. That's it. There shouldn't be anything more to it.
But Chris, can't you hear the screams of the victims, bro?
Cheers, my dude.
I literally
love ya. No homo.
Motherfucker.
There's one that just appeared. Did you hear
it?
Did you hear it?
Did you hear it?
Did you hear it?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't hear it because you're schizophrenic.
The chat heard it. The chat just heard it.
Chat heard the screams of a victim.
They did.
Miles away.
They did. They just heard it. Oh, look, they're gonna hear it again.
Cheers, my dude.
My
love
God.
ya. No homo.
But like, I can't get over the sheer fact that people put like this much stock into this guy, or like any YouTuber.
I refuse to get over the fact that Hannah actively convinced the motherfucker I'm a white supremacist and did it.
What did you expect from a schizophrenic communist?
I would think
for them
just a little research, a little, not a lot.
Dude, they're taking Max at their word. What did you think this person was?
A little bit of let me see. And I said it on stream, and it went exactly the way I wanted. The motherfucker was going to believe it and was going to use black people can be white supremacist excuse. And they did it. It was like, I've been doing YouTube long enough to know how this is going to go.
Yep, the Uncle Tom conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great, I love that. It's super fun.
It's great. It really is.
Assuming, you know what's racist is assuming that a black man hates black people. That's racist.
I mean, fuck, I'm gonna have to deal with this shit probably for the next few days because of this brick shit.
No, you don't.
This
But
brick
the brick shit.
This
Oh,
brick shit is gonna irk my soul because motherfuckers will not concede that. All right, this is something to where motherfuckers gotta keep. That's the whole gimmick of this. That's the lesson to take away from this brick shit. Keep your hands to yourself. That way you won't get hit with a water bottle or a brick or a glass bottle.
don't hit people.
I still have that brick, I think.
Would you? Oh yeah, you had a brick prop.
No, bastard. I don't do props.
Get a brick.
That was a real brick.
Get a brick.
Cost me $3.
That's what I meant.
Cost me
Yeah, it's still a prop.
No,
it's not just.
I don't use fake props.
Okay,
I don't use fake props. No, you're the
there's
retard.
A difference
hey,
between there's a difference
pedophile
between
defender.
A fake
Shut
prop
your mouth.
and a
Shut your
prop.
mouth. Shut your mouth.
Shut
your
your mouth. You're the pedophile defender. You got fucking
Mamamax
accused
W.
by Red Pagan.
Mamamax
Bruh, you
W.
lost. Red Pagan doesn't think I'm a transphobic white supremacist.
Tipster was right all along. Mamamax was right all along.
Oh my god. Saying Tipster was right all along is like the worst thing you could say ever in your life. How dare you? How dare you say that?
Compared to the
Tipster was right about a few things in his career. Jesus Christ, so horrible. It's not like I've said that publicly.
You haven't.
I have actually.
You haven't.
I've given him credit on a bunch of things.
How about you give me credit for your channel growth?
What? Oh my god, you're not getting credit for that.
Why? I told you get away from spam activity in Discord.
No,
look at you now. Look at you.
I made
the hottest sensation.
Myself.
The hottest sensation in the small commentary community.
Not even close to the hottest sensation.
You're the hottest sensation.
Nope, still retarded.
You're a good.
I should have made my cameo in fucking Nicholas Diorio's video funnier. I fucked up. Should have made it funnier. I should have done like some sort of like cop thing where it was like, oh, there's a black vampire to kneel on or something and wear the cop outfit. I should have done that. That would have been funny.
Would have been unfunny. Just
that would have been great. Doc literally was like as a member of the Chinese Communist Party with his eyes squinting as hard as possible. Like fuck off.
Just want to say the only funny one was Foodie Booty. Because
Foodie Beauty fucking made me die laughing seeing that.
Because that was the only unexpected one.
That one I was not expecting. Shoe Nice I kind of expected because Shoe will do whatever the fuck he wants. He wanted Billy Mitchell, but Billy never got back to him. That would have been funnier.
Hannah made a great fucking point on Twitter just now. Mamamax should team up with BX Bullet. What a fucking cameo that would be.
Yes! That's a great fucking idea. That is fucking incredible. I would do that. That's the best crossover episode of all time.
Hannah's still fired. I don't care.
But hold on, that was a good idea. You have to unfire her for that idea.
I really don't.
Yeah, you do. For that one idea, that's a great idea. Nobody has had that idea because BX Bullock is like, I care about the children. Her and Max have the same fucking argumentation points.
I don't think BX Bullet made Did she? What did she do?
No, she was like the government like steals children and shit. I don't remember. But she's like one of those people that are like the children are more important than anything, but also is a titty streamer with a child in the room. You know, like, come on.
Titties are a man's best friend.
Yeah, I get that. But when your kid comes in and says, Mom, I'm hungry, and she's like, I'm streaming right now, dressed as a nurse with her tits out, I'm pretty sure that's not a good look.
Well, she should have the kid should know how to cook. Fuck.
Well, the kid is like 7.
So?
What do you mean so? It's going to learn how to use a stove at 7?
Some kids do.
Yeah, okay, bro.
Hey, don't get mad at me because...
I'm not getting mad at you. It's just a ridiculous statement.
Get mad at me because the white children are being left behind.
White kids can't cook, bro. It's just not a thing.
I mean, it's
clear.
Upsetting. Have you seen Brittany Venti?
Hold on. Just because she
don't
can't
you
cook,
fucking start
we're
your
not having
simp
this argument.
shit.
No, we're not having this argument
you
again.
fucking simp. Like
We're not having this argument again.
we can have this argument until we're
No,
both dead.
I'm not. I'm not going to have this argument again.
Because you can't defend
Just because
your white
she can't
supremacist race.
Doesn't just because she can't cook doesn't mean that she's a good woman.
L woman, like that's your whole purpose in life, according.
My whole purpose in life is not L women.
Your whole purpose in life is to cook. L woman.
A lot of hold on, listen. First, women do suck in this community on YouTube. They fucking suck.
I don't. What
Most
is that?
female content creators suck ass.
Stop.
They
Talk,
suck ass.
Stop. Just
Just
stop.
be real.
Stop for a second. Stop this fucking in this community shit. You fucking village idiots.
I'm talking about YouTube in general.
Fucking,
what I mean by that.
You're all village idiots. Fuck.
No, I know, but I'm talking about in general YouTube. A lot of female creators suck fucking ass. Especially if they're drama creators. I'm gonna be real. I become black-pilled.
Congratulations. I wonder where you got that from.
I don't know. At this point, it's just from personal experience.
I tell you.
The only good one is Vangelina.
I think all YouTubers who do this type of shit Mamamax is doing should be banned, and I have not been strayed away from that opinion.
Yeah, I know.
No one's giving me a compelling argument.
So my compelling argument would be so let's say the YouTuber has police experience, right? Like they are a retired police. No, let me finish. They're like a retired officer. They decide to make a YouTube channel capturing predators. They work solely with the police, get the conviction, everything's done before they even consider uploading the video. What do you think about that?
That should already be done.
No, I know, but I'm
that
talking
should
about
be done
in that context.
before that.
No, that should be done, but it's not. But let's say there's a creator that is doing that. Would you have an issue with that person?
No, because they're doing it right. They're putting this motherfucker in jail, then making the YouTube video.
Yes,
I don't want
that's what it should be. That literally should be the standard.
This fucker said out of his own mouth he's been doing this for years, and he's got a fucking teaser trailer for some shitty documentary that's probably just gonna be, I am Cameron Gerard Davis. Why hasn't Mudahar given me the proper respect in talking about how I'm raping? Like, what the fuck?
You didn't see the live streams where he said, I want to interview Camden and his about his home life and why he rapes kids. Why you're gonna interview the rapist? Alleged rapist. Like, retarded, bro. Like, you're gonna interview the guy that allegedly sexually assaulted all the victims, instead of just going to the cops, getting all that shit done. What is wrong with you?
Chris, the content.
But that's like, is that worth the content? No.
I think this guy.
There needs to be a line on content, bro.
I watched this guy. His name's Swifter. He does this thing where he's just like Simon Says, but in Call of Duty. And I remember watching one video, and the guy kind of just like fucked it up for everybody else who was playing the Simon Says. And he just screamed, for the content. That's what it's for. It's for content. It's for money. It's for Patreon. No victims will be getting help. This is a shit show. And what makes the shit show funnier and also sad is that this motherfucker made himself out to be the victim. He made himself to be the victim when he's working with actual victims.
Let me ask you something.
This is ass backwards.
It is all ass backwards. I want to ask you this because your take on it, I'm kind of curious. So Max setting up the GoFundMe, right, for the victims. Instead of going through the Patreon, he sets up the GoFundMe. There's no
Shouldn't he have already done that beforehand?
No GoFundMe. This is totally separate. He's never had a GoFundMe. He's had Patreon, right? So the GoFundMe was released.
Embryos.
The day that he made the what's it called? The day that he made the accountability video, he made a GoFundMe for the victims, right? After saying, why would I make a GoFundMe? Now he's making one. Someone flagged the GoFundMe for fraud and scam. Do you think that makes Max look more like a victim in the eyes of like what's left of his community? And was it even worth flagging that GoFundMe?
I don't know why that shit got taken down, whether if he took it down or whether it was flagged.
Well, somebody took credit for flagging it.
That's cool, but if you ain't got proof that you did that, I'm not going to say that you did that.
No, he's got proof. He tweeted it out.
Congratulations. Whether if it was taken down, he took it down, flagged, going around saying you won't start a GoFundMe, then starting one out of thin air makes it seem like it's a money grab. And no, it doesn't make him out to be a victim.
How does it not make him out to be a potential martyr? Because like the people that are like still really invested in Max are going to look at that and go, well, the people that are against him won't even let him like raise money and will make.
Why wasn't he already raising money? Why was this through Patreon?
Yeah.
Like, why was this through Patreon? You could have been started a GoFundMe years ago, months ago. That could have been, hey, this is for these victims. They need a place to stay. currently housing them, but with let's say $20,000, we'll get them a spot to stay.
So let me retort back with, he took the criticism of people saying why not make a GoFundMe, made the GoFundMe now, and even though he made the GoFundMe, he still got flagged by people in a community that don't like him. How is that not expressly going to make him a potential martyr to those people?
Well, the added information that makes his entire 3 years or X amount of years doing this shit to be completely bullshit doesn't help him. It's cool that semantics will be played by people saying, he tried to do this and you all shut on him. Well, he also has been trying to get quote-unquote justice, and he's been fucking that up by himself. So his credibility is shot either way, and anybody with a brain is going to look at that and say, no.
All right, fair enough. I was just curious because I'm seeing a lot of discourse over the GoFundMe thing, and I'm like, I kind of believe that it would potentially make him a martyr. I'm still kind of like on that train regardless.
That's wonderful.
Because anytime people, but the thing is, like, anytime people get flagged for anything, especially ones in drama, there's going to be a subsection of the audience that will dig their heels even deeper instead of like looking at everything and just say, oh, well, no matter what he does now, they're gonna flag him or criticize him or anything. He can't take one step forward without people shitting on him, which that's on him.
Glad you said that.
That's on him.
Glad you said that. That's what happens when you spend all this time bullshitting and not helping. No one's going to believe you once you either try or pretend to try like you give a fuck. That's called credibility shot. I get it. People want to play semantics. They want to say, oh, well, he's trying now. Guess what? Your credibility was shot the day before. You make this. No, hold on.
It's shot for a month. Let's be real.
You do this fucking shitty accountability. I'm addressing hold on. I got to do the real voice. I'm addressing all the problems that I've had to deal with.
And then not take accountability.
You paint yourself as the victim because people are looking at all the shit you're doing and saying, hey, this is a shit show. And then you decide to do a GoFundMe. Congratulations. You fucked this. And it's your fault. It is not Nicholas Diorio's fault. It's not Mudar's fault. It is nobody's fault but yours because you, asswipe, decided, hey, it's more fun to be a YouTuber than actually be, I guess, a pedo hunter filmmaker, which you suck at. Like, y'all want to talk about
filmmaker empowering children, Leon.
Y'all want to talk about shit being woke and how bad it is. Listen. Give me anything Disney produces for the next 10 years because it'll be better than this.
Oh, yeah. I can agree with that. Not even going to argue with it because it's just what it is. He's completely and utterly destroyed his own life, his own channel, his own credibility. Plus him begging YouTubers for fucking exposure. Like, bro, that's shit that like a 200 sub, like 100 sub Andy would fucking do.
Well, guess what? He
Go
got
into the
it.
comment sections and be like, please pay attention to me.
He got it.
He got it. He got it, and not the way that he wanted.
Yeah, but he got it.
He got the attention. I agree.
I must check something. If there is any form of an update about our brick lady from her own mouth.
I love somebody in chat. Dude could have voice acted some D&D campaigns, but did this bullshit instead. Yeah, true. He could have made great money being a fucking voice actor with apparently and allegedly. Did you know that he potentially had surgery to change his voice?
Can y'all please kiss my ass? Like,
I'm telling you.
Kiss my ass.
Apparently, he had surgery to change his voice to make it deeper.
Please, and it didn't work. What a waste of your fucking money.
On.
You sound like you need to be fucking taking my order at Subway, fuck mouth.
What is it? You saw Nick's video. You know the Wet Hot Soup, that pink background podcast with like Elvis the Alien and all them, where Max was like, I could suck my own dick or something? That was his real voice. And then if you watch the live streams and videos now, where he's just talking normal, his voice is lower.
He still sounds like a bitch. Like,
exactly.
It didn't work.
It really didn't work. It really didn't work.
It sounded like puberty, like, and it still did not deepen your voice.
No, smoke cigarettes like a real man.
You ain't even got to do that, bro.
Smoke some Marlboro Lights, bro.
He has the voice of a cuck is a wild thing to say. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Isn't it funny that he's like, allegations or evidence, spoken word testimony is enough, but he has 5 allegations against him through spoken word testimony?
When the motherfucker pulled up a Chat GPT link, I immediately wanted to scream and like cut my. I wanted to cut my hand off.
You have no idea how hard it was not to tell people. That's exactly what happened when I saw the call like early. It was so difficult. When Buddha's like, "Why did you send me a Chat GPT prompt?" I fucking started dying. I was like, "There's no fucking way." Imagine, dude, 5 years running as a predator hunter. You're telling people that you've gone to cases, that one of your guys were arrested, and that you have a track record. Get in a call, get pressured, and the first thing you said is a Chat GPT response talking about the legal system.
So that and the whole thing where he's like, why are you expecting me to do all of this work? Chris, I have a question for you. If I am trying to get someone arrested and I needed some on the ground work from good buddy Christopher the Narc.
Mm-hmm.
And I have all this information. I have all the details necessary. I have everything.
And it's
No. It's everything you need to get somebody put behind bars.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, all I need is just a little bit of help, a little bit of exposure. And we get in a call and we have a back and forth about all the information. And you ask me a couple questions about, well, why aren't I doing this? Why aren't I doing that? And I respond with, why are you expecting me to do all of this work? Like, I'm sorry, but
you're the one that came to me, asshole.
That's ungodly ass backwards.
It's hilarious, actually. I find it so funny. I find it to be the funniest thing about it. He's like, why are you putting this all on me? What do you mean, Max? You're the one with the credibility, the channel, the history of documenting and quote unquote capturing predators.
Like, nobody with a brain is gonna take this fucker at face value and say, yeah, I'll make this video right now, buddy. Nobody.
Yeah, no,
and if you are somebody
do
who does that, well, then you're a shitty content creator who just wants attention. And
especially
you should be banned too.
No. So hold on, especially in the field that like commentary and like drama YouTubers are in, if you just take things at face value and just fucking run with it, 99% of the time you're gonna get bit. And nobody wants to get bit in the drama community. They don't want it to bite back at them when they're the ones putting it on their platform. As fucked as that sounds, that's an actual fact.
Wait. That's not fucked. That's actually being smart.
Yeah,
you
but
don't want to be in a situation where people come back to you and say, hey, dumbass, you got this shit very loudly fucking wrong.
You platformed this allegation with no credible proof. What is wrong with you? Oh, well, I just took a guy at his word because he's credible and has a larger YouTube channel. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my god.
Am I crazy? But like when I was at like 3,000 fucking subs, am I crazy for not respecting anybody that had more subs than me?
No, that's what you should normally do.
I still fucking don't. I don't respect anyone smaller than me. I don't respect anyone bigger than me. I respect your credibility.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's the credibility that matters. Doesn't matter if you have 1 million to 1,000 subs. If your credibility is on point and you are consistent with those points and you show proof that those points are consistent, nobody should question it.
I'm the hottest black live streamer in the game right now. No one fucking cares.
What Speed is though, but cool.
Who?
Speed.
I don't know. Sounds irrelevant. Sounds like he's below me.
Fucking vain.
But
like, it's accurate. It's accurate to understand why people wouldn't even cover it, because that's why. No, there's no proof. There's nothing to work off of. The only thing that you had was a Discord group of women all verbally saying stuff. From what I've heard, unsubstantiated, one-sided screenshots in the Discord as their proof. That's what I'm hearing.
I want to speak to this Max, mama.
Then reach out to him. He fucking would probably be glad to talk to anybody who's willing to hear both sides at this point.
Even though hearing the one side is like, well, goddamn, you're a waste of time to talk to. I still want to know from his own mouth how fucked he truly think. I'm not signing shit.
You would make you sign some shit.
I'm not signing shit. I'm not putting my digital footprint on nothing. You gonna come
Fair
in a
enough.
live setting and talk to me, fuck
Well,
boy.
reach out to him. His Twitter account's still open with DMs open.
I don't want that in my DMs. I feel like this motherfucker would be like, "You're actively someone who is against what I'm pushing. I will not sit here."
You talk to Chris, you support Nick, you blah blah blah. You
Yeah, I
fucking
watched the
pull all this
video.
stuff.
That doesn't mean I
Yeah.
support any fucking
Well,
body.
no,
you
in his
understand?
brain,
Do you
in his brain,
understand?
that's a hold on. In his brain, that is a level of support. Is that you watched the video, saw the call, you were like, "Holy fuck, this guy's retarded." That's enough for Max to go with. Oh, you're just contributing to the counter narrative. That's going to be his exact words. I will fucking put money on it.
Hey, guess what? That might be the way to go about that from him. But do you understand? Like, if anybody tells me I support Nicholas Diorio, understand that it was alerted to me that this motherfucker from you, Chris, just like felt guilty not following me back. Like, is that it? Is that the level of support we got here?
Yeah,
Like,
the level of support.
I-
But in Max's head, that's enough. But
I'm
you're talking
sorry.
about somebody but Leon, you're dealing with somebody that cannot fucking handle criticism at all.
I'm
They will
dealing
do
with
mental
people on the
gymnastics.
fucking internet who are ass backwards. I'm already pissed
Yeah.
off at this brick shit and how bad this shit is gonna be. So I'm already irked by humanity. Now I have to deal with more of them.
Yeah. So imagine if you got into a call with this guy. I'm pretty sure your fucking brain would melt. I'm pretty sure you would be the most pissed one out of them. Actually, no, I think Xylee.
No,
still,
it was
and
most
Muda.
definitely Xylee. No, Xylee.
Xylee and Muda still
I-
get that.
I say this
still,
out
Xylee
loud.
more than Muda.
I say this out loud. And this will probably be my 5th time saying it. Xylee dog walked this motherfucker.
And she totally was 100% within the right to do that. She's
Yes.
been dealing with his bullshit. Dude, she's been dealing with his bullshit privately for like months. Like she had a call with him like during the time that the alleged victims against him came out. I don't know what happened in that call, but apparently Max like used the voice changer in the call and like said some dumb shit to her.
I
She
would've
was like,
left.
"You're a,"
I would have
she's
left.
like, "You're a motherfucker." Like
I would have left. I would have
Like,
left.
if I'm in a private, okay, let me ask you this.
And I would have made a
If you're-
video.
Yeah, so let me ask you this: if you're in a private call, right, and you're talking to somebody on a personal level, like you're going through the channel of being private with this person instead of making a public spectacle out of something, would you put a voice changer on that you use for content in a private call?
No.
Would you DM people like you're writing a manifesto and being like, "Your silence will not go unnoticed"?
Trust me, my silence goes unnoticed a lot of the time. It's only when I speak out loud that it becomes a problem.
It's just fucking delusional to the idea that you would even DM people like that. Like he writes like he's this auteur filmmaker. He acts like he's like Wes Anderson or Guillermo del Toro. It's fucking pathetic. It's so funny. I love it. I love how pathetic this guy is.
This is sad.
It's not sad. I find it fucking funny.
I find this sad, pathetic,
How do you find it sad?
because a guy is using victims to uplift his shitty YouTube channel. And the
No,
sad part
and-
is people buy into it.
And I agree, but I still find it funny.
That's wonderful
find-
for you.
I find the lack of understanding as to why people dislike Max and believe that his campaigns are bullshit is hilarious to me. I think it's funny. I think he's like, this is like watching somebody who's like okay, you know how those guys in New York City will walk around, they're fucking homeless and they're yelling the government's coming after us. Max is one of those guys to me. Like fucking, I privately laugh about it, but I'm publicly laughing this time, you know? Like I don't give a shit. I feel bad for the victims. I really fucking do.
I'm starting to not, because
but,
they're
like-
sitting there advocating for this shit.
Yeah,
I'm starting
well,
to not.
Okay, so I feel bad for all the victims that isn't Spencer right now, because Spencer's the one that's heading all this shit and is like apparently helping Matt, like giving Max ideas on things and being like, well, the victims wanted a live stream. The victims wanted this trailer video. The victims think this is a good idea to rebrand and change the metadata on your fucking channel to God Cult. Like,
Hi.
I don't know. I don't know how Max didn't think YouTube channels get hacked all the time. People are going to look at this and maybe not think this is my channel and are going to be confused what the fuck is being uploaded here.
Hi, YouTuber here who's been a YouTuber for quite a while. I'm not taking the advice of people who are not YouTubers about what to do with my YouTube channel, number one. Number two, if I have victims coming to me, of all people, telling me their life story and about how they were abused and raped and they want me to be on the scene and help, I am responding with, fuck you, go to the police. And maybe in the eyes of the rest of you, that'll make me look bad. But in the eyes of me, someone who is not a lawyer, fuck off, go to the police.
Also, Ahsoka makes a good point. I completely fucking forgot about this. Spencer lured girls into, quote unquote, lured girls in to Camden, like Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. So Spencer committed a fucking crime.
Boy,
Like,
that Epstein list really mattered to these fucking conservatives.
well, hold on. Don't derail. We can't talk about the Epstein shit right now. But Ahsoka makes a great fucking point. Spencer's already also an accessory to quote unquote child trafficking.
Great job.
An accessory to child trafficking.
W's in the chat for dumbasses.
And Max is platforming this person? That's crazy to me. Imagine, I'm a victim of this guy. Okay, what happened? Tell story. Well, I also helped lure girls into his spider web of fucking vampire werewolf pedophilia.
Does nobody hear this shit and think, what a fuck, the internet was, I'm not one of these people who says this, but this is one of those times where you just gotta look and hear everything, and you just think to yourself, the internet was a fucking mistake.
Nah, bro, the internet was the greatest thing ever invented.
The internet was a fucking mistake.
I find it entertaining to the degree that it is unhealthy. I find it so funny. I literally love the retardation. It makes me feel better about myself.
It causes me great pain and anguish.
Bro, you gotta find the love.
I can't find the love for this shit. Like, I could find the love for so much other shit. I can't find the love for this.
Yeah, well, not for, like, obviously a guy is platforming victims and using their voices to make fucking minimum, from what Muda said. I think he calculated about 17 grand a month.
Excuse the last bit of fuck out of me.
Yep.
What might I ask? If it's not,
hold on.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
You gotta hold on. Go to the Muda part in the video. It shows the Patreon numbers.
No, fucker. I want to watch this whole thing, and I'm fucking talking to you, fuck mouth.
All right.
Jesus.
But like, think about that. This guy's making at the minimum. At the embryo stage was just $5 a month.
The embryo stage is fucking wild to say.
I know. Isn't that crazy to say? Minimum 17 grand a month.
At the embryo stage is a fucking wild ass thing to say.
So Ahsoka, to answer, he privated his members numbers. There is a tool out there that will show members numbers through not through Patreon. It's like a third party that'll access the information regardless. And Muda was able to pull it up, and the exact amount of people that are still subscribed to his Patreon, and then Muda calculated based on the $5 tier how much he assumes Max is making if it's only people donating $5. And I'm pretty sure it was a couple thousand people. I think 3 grand. I think 3 grand, 3,000 members. A little more, maybe. I don't remember. He had a 10K at least. Damn. I gotta remember the exact number. I'm gonna be watching this video tonight, so I gotta. 3,800 was his peak. So if we do 3,800 at peak, let's do 3,800 times 5 at the minimum. 19,000.
Oh, are you done?
I'm sorry.
Can I go back to watching this video now?
Yeah. I'll let you go.
Because this is
you called me.
This is great. I did. I'm glad I did. What great conversation then we got.
It's gonna get worse from here, bro.
I bet it is.
See ya.
Oh yeah. All right. Are we ready to have fun? We were only 10 minutes into this video.
tell them, hey, please say some of the most insane accusations
What a derail, but you know, we hit the hour mark.
you can make about anybody's character, and do that basically on blind faith. Yes, I know that he said to people that there is evidence locked behind an NDA, but if that evidence isn't publicly available, you literally are opening yourself up to a very, very serious claim from this person. That also said, making these serious claims can only entice this person if they're actually, say, allegedly guilty of them, and it could cause them to go down and delete evidence so that if they know that they are under scrutiny or investigation, they might start actually getting rid of actionable evidence that can exist. If these people are potentially armed and dangerous, it could make them go above the edge, over the edge, and then actually cause harm to the people around them as some form of retribution to somebody online. And that's why you have to be incredibly careful. You can't be making claims unless you can 100% back them with evidence that would hold up in a court of law, let alone public opinion. But with that also said, I understand that evidence sometimes can't be perfect. Sometimes you can't have silver bullets sitting around. But if you don't have anything actionable at all, then it's best kept quiet until you do. But this is where Max obviously wanted to cover the story, make these claims, and the way that he presented them was rather odd. And this is where part 2 of this video comes into, where we look at Max's rebranding, known as God Cult. This video, Brainwash Your Favorite Influencer, begins with a QR code and a text at the bottom asking viewers to send the video to large specific channels. He scrolls a massive disclaimer and a frame-by-frame analysis to read. 2 key points from this bullshit that I found interesting to me was when Max had signified that this was fictitious materials, when in reality this is serious allegations we're talking about. How is this a fictitious element, and why are we putting any of that into this video?
Because it's horseshit.
Even if it is for legal reasons, can we actually believe anything that you're about to say and the people that you're about to name? That's a pretty big point of contention, and one that we'll come back to round trip towards the end of the video. The other big part is when he starts pointing out that if influencers deny anything here in this, then they can be one of these following horrible things, like internet predators, like human traffickers, groomers, so on and so forth, which again is...
I think it was Chris. Wasn't Chris the one that was like, who's gonna stop to read all this? Well, you got your answer. Mudahar.
It's insane to put anybody critical of what they're about to see, especially when they should be critical of what Max is about to post, into a severe camp just again for denying any of the contents that he's posted in this video. So anyways, he asks to send this video to their favorite influencer to test them on their character. He guides through a tutorial on using the YouTube frame-by-frame keyboard commands to prepare viewers for a game. And he asks a series of questions. If God appeared before you and told you to sacrifice a child, would you do it? What? Then he gives another long string of BS that I have to frame by frame analyze. Now you can read this for yourself by pausing the video or slowing down. I've slowed the footage down by around 70%. So to understand the actual stuff that he's talking about is humanity will end up destroying itself if we don't protect our children. Children should be taught self-sufficiency, and these are all noble things to say. He falls into a tangent about artificial intelligence and, again, misinformation. These are topics that come up throughout this entire series later. But again, this is part of where the video's artsy natures come into. So hopefully soon we'll be getting into talking about the actual allegations he will be making. What comes next is a video from a cult expert that Max has brought on. And then it dives right into the first serious allegation and key part of the story.
On March 18th, 2016, Spencer, a 16-year-old girl from Wiley, Texas, mysteriously disappeared, lured by the illusion of joining a supernatural family as a vampire on some random corner of the internet. She actually found herself ensnared in a dangerous cult led by a child predator posing as a werewolf god. The man had recruited hundreds of young children, subjecting them to sending CP, assault, and attempted trafficking. Almost 7 years later, Spencer and the other survivors shared their stories with me. This video serves as their scream for action against their perpetrator.
I had to think.
Now give yourself a second.
I had to think for a second. Did I die, or did the video fucking die? No, it's just this shitty ass editing from this fuckface. This is shitty. This is dog shit. This is terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible.
To breathe. These are very serious allegations. These type of allegations require absolute concrete proof, and not a YouTube video, okay? This should be reviewed by lawyers, sent to police agencies. This is serious stuff. And so when we get to this, who is Max claiming to target? He talks about Camden. Now here, Max gives full names, plays loud music, and again, I have to frame by frame analyze, which, for a serious topic like this, please stop the theatrics. Present this with the respect it deserves. There's a possibility that he will use anonymous accounts on various internet forums to spread rumors or false information about the victim or filmmakers. Any proof of a disinformation campaign, maybe some screenshots of his various accounts and postings, none of that are provided here. He may attempt to engage drama-oriented media sources, leveraging their platforms to spin a narrative in their favor. To my knowledge, no one in that drama-specific community has been contacted by this person. And that also said, this isn't Mamamax, this is a serious crime we're discussing. And that's what bugs me. Why are we not treating this with actual respect? This isn't a fucking Netflix show. This is a serious, heinous crime. He has a history of spreading disinformation to deflect the allegations against him. Again, where's the proof? Any links to his posts online or his accounts that are spreading this disinformation? In this video, nothing like that's given. He may resort to legal threats as a method to suppress the story and silence victim. To this date, no one covering this has reported that they've received any legal notices from this person. According to multiple sources, he is implicated in criminal activities affecting minors. Again, it's up to Max to provide the relevant reports for us all to see in this section, which he didn't do. And we'll revisit this person's legal situation later. It's not uncommon for figures like him to accuse detractors of slanders in an attempt to shift the narrative. As at the time of me recording this, no one to my knowledge has been communicated by this person specifically. There's a possibility that he will use social media and other platforms to discredit us or make counterclaims to confuse the public. The individual, once again, hasn't posted publicly and about this to my knowledge. Max, you gotta substantiate these massive claims. That is your job as a person delivering this story. He gives us his name, which I'm gonna refer to as K to make it simple. He cuts to a montage of what he discusses human trafficking is evolving, destructive culture growing, an enemy of the children is an enemy of us all. God cult is translated to guard our descendants. That's the cult. It's about protecting children. He asks us to share Spencer's story and asks the audience to contact several large YouTube.
What a shitty fucking name. What is this meme shit? This is so Bush League. But hey, this is interesting. This is filmmaking. This is what we wanted, people.
YouTubers. Some of them include H3H3. Some of them include Joe Rogan. Some of them include Anthony Fantano. Literally, he is in this video asking Anthony Fantano, check it out, there's a cool banger you're hearing. In the same video where he is discussing very serious allegations and very, very serious stories regarding victims. You can imagine why a lot of people are looking at this as him treating this as a joke. It's not a joke. This is serious. And in reality, what are people like Mr. Beast? What are people like PewDiePie gonna do? What are you gonna bring his kid into this? What, he's a father now, so he's not gonna signal boost unsubstantiated claims? What is Joe Rogan gonna do about the situation? None of these people are experts.
Joe Rogan is gonna talk about how the aliens are coming, and he's gonna smoke a lot of weed. So, out of anybody, this would be the worst candidate for this shit.
Or have any legal backing to help you in the situation. All they can do is make unsubstantiated claims alongside you, which ultimately—
What did I step back into? Fraud Alert 2, the electric film pedophile guru Boogaloo.
ultimately hurts this case more than it helps it. Now, I was expecting at the end of this video more explanation of how this person was a cult leader, or how they human trafficked Spencer. So far, we have her testimony, but no real hard-hitting, irrefutable evidence that corroborates that testimony that can at least be publicly shared. Max has already called this person a child predator, and I'm not a fly on the wall, so I don't know if that statement is true or not. The only way to prove that statement is true is evidence, which Max has not provided publicly yet. How can a creator stick their neck out and help when this whole situation relies on blind faith instead of facts? I worked on a case recently with Carl, which relied on us, not the same situation, mind you, definitely less serious, but it relied on providing proper relevant documentation to corroborate our accusations. Had I made those videos without providing documentation from, the Internal Revenue Service, actually doing my journalistic duty to contact all parties involved on tape, then people would laugh me out immediately. Nobody would ever talk about that situation, and I would be a laughingstock. That is a situation Max is currently facing at this moment, and it's entirely of his own volition. Okay, so now that we've seen the first video, we went over it. The amount of evidence in this first brainwashing piece has culminated so far in one witness testimony, not part of that video. It's a 4 to 5 hour piece you can watch.
The accusations are evidence. Vidal, you're a thorn in my ass, and I don't have the energy for you today.
No supporting evidence to help corroborate the situation, no records of conversation, no travel documentation to show a minor at the time traveling across state lines, which is a very important thing, and he didn't even explain what this cult was. I don't know, I only know the name of this.
You know the 4 miscarriages in 3 months? That's physically impossible. Listen, I'm pretty sure somebody said it and I missed it at some point. I don't want to look for that again. I don't know if I missed it and wasn't really paying attention. I don't want to hear that a second time. I don't want to hear somebody try to convince me that they had 4 miscarriages in 3 months.
Person, Kate, I know what Max is accusing him of. I just don't know of any supporting evidence to assist Spencer's testimony and accusations, even at the time, which I want to stress can be true. Again, I don't know anything in this situation. I was not a fly on the wall, but I want to know more about this vampire werewolf cult. So far, nothing tangible from Max has been explained. And again, that's a serious crux of this problem. The second video on Max's channel is titled "This is What Happened to Mamamax," a 25-minute video explaining the current trajectory of the channel and addressing criticism. In this video, he covers the history of what he produced, how YouTube tackled his racy uploads, and how he constantly shifted gears to YouTube's evolving climate. One of the big turning points in there was when he worked on the Kanye Quest video and found a group of friends in the horror community, in the dark horror community. And he found that there was an alarming situation of predators in YouTube comment section searching for kids. And this is where Max claims his fight would be headed. Regarding the accusations he made the previous video, nothing really substantial comes in this one. And it's more of a response to the criticism that he's been getting on that last video, rightfully so. So I want to address some pieces of criticism that he has.
It's scary. It's edgy 2010 era garbage. It's gross that Max is doing this thing where he pretends to reach out to other big YT channels in order to help victims, when in reality, he's exploiting these victims to try and get views. Genuinely evil behavior.
Genuinely evil behavior is taking the conversation away from sexual predators who victimize children and making it about the YouTuber that covered it, specifically because you don't like them. Your profile picture already speaks volumes about where you're coming from. If my aim were merely to chase views, I am in the absolute worst market of content creation on YouTube to do so. I am engaging in projects
I can't tell because you're making a lot of views from it.
that require time, research, scripting, filming, and editing, just to get less views than everyone who is following the latest drama or trend.
This sounds a little deflected to me because regardless of who posted that comment and what sites they could be affiliated to, you are covering content that involves you hunting down, investigating, and bringing to light serious crimes. Regardless of how much of a filmmaker you are, these are real stories, and hiding behind a shield of vulnerable children when people question your nature just doesn't sound good. People right now especially are rightfully looking into your work, critical of how you perform these investigations and how involved relevant law enforcement agencies are, and how the people you claim to go after are actually converted into real tangible arrests. It's also dishonest to say that you could make more money when you are in a more profitable niche on YouTube. I get your videos are demonetized and age restricted and gangbanged in the algorithm, but your your videos have been massively successful, millions of views, and you built a following on the platform, which by the way is the hardest part of this whole game. You've also built a Patreon where your last reported figure was over 1,800 members. Now Patreon introduced a free tier about 3 months ago according to this FAQ, but with a peak paid membership of around 3,341 members, according to this statistic website Graphtreon, and based on the recent membership options, if you take just the minimum amount, $7.50 Canadian, which is around a little over $5, let's make it 5 even. You're looking at a minimum paid earning potential before taxes and Patreon fees of $16,705 just for the peak month, which ain't bad if you're only making 2 videos a year. People are putting money into your pocket thinking that it is going towards your fight against serious bad people. And that's not bad money for uploading, again, very little. And this level of pocket watching was brought to you by our sponsor, Anti-Deflection Argument. You definitely did profit, and I wonder just why in October of last year you started hiding those membership counts. But that being said, this was not a terrible niche for you financially, and you gotta admit that.
Subjects as serious as child and abduction brainwashing, and using them as mere window dressing to get noticed again because your YouTube relevancy is dwindling rapidly.
Comparing crucial issues like child, human, and as
Fucking, I'm never going to allow anybody to convince me that a fake fucking voice somehow makes this more impactful. I'll never. I don't care. I don't care what reasoning's behind this. You can't say it's because he's insecure. It might be because he's fucking insecure about his bitch voice. This is a bitch's voice.
window dressing for YouTube relevancy says far more about you than you realize. Months were invested collaborating with the survivor to ensure her story is portrayed in a manner that reflects her lived experiences and the gravity of her suffering. In fact, the full 5-hour interview was uploaded to her channel instead of my own.
What kind of a response is this to a valid question? If you spend months researching this topic, then you would be able to present the narrative of Spencer with the best evidence that you can publicly present that would help build her case against this person that you have labeled a cult leader and child. She posts a 5-hour video of her interview and testimony on the situation, which is great, and I'm glad she gets to speak her piece. But let's not ignore that serious allegations require very serious pieces of evidence to corroborate them. We cannot work off of testimony alone, and that's what everyone's been saying about the situation. Had Max provided evidence about this, then it would be all okay and gravy, and that would be fine. But in this situation, he hasn't done that.
But if talking head videos are the language that the internet understands, then let's speak it. So, last week, I released a charity video in collaboration with survivors of a destructive cult that has victimized hundreds of minors. Despite its significance, it turned out to be the worst performing video on my channel. While I fully accept responsibility for the video's underperformance, I want to make it clear, before the video even hit the platform, the survivor was integrally involved. Nothing was done without her explicit approval. The wave of criticism by detractors about a narrative that is not theirs to tell reveals behaviors that aren't just unhelpful, they are harmful.
Once again, he describes the situation as a destructive cult that victimized hundreds of minors, yet has produced no evidence of this cult even existing yet, any cult documentation, not even a name Max has uttered up to this point. And again, he's failed to provide tangible evidence of the hundreds of children. Again, this would be something you would have locked down with...
He's about to say this is something you would have locked down for, like, anybody to fucking do. And he's not fucking wrong. Like, how? Please. It's like, I'm begging anybody. How can you make YouTubers believe you if you're not doing any fucking thing that's worthy to be believed? Like,
months of research before you would even produce these videos. It should be easy for someone who's claimed to actually have pedophiles, arrested. You understand evidence and why it's needed to substantiate claims. Max's third video on the topic was initially called "This is the greatest cancellation of all time" @Penguin0, #WeAreReal. Since then, in the backlash he received, he changed it to reacting to the reactions of the SSS Sniper Wolf's action. It's fair to also mention now that a lot of the disdain Max has for the community that he is preaching to is not responding to is because he genuinely believes his work is meaningful and that the attention at the time put towards SS Sniper Wolf and her drama regarding Jack's films was, something that people looked at more. Now, obviously,
if you're going, you can't bitch to people who you think are wasting time and ask these people, hey, can you stop bitching about what's getting you views and pay attention to me? And then you proceed to lie about the confines of one video, not once, but fucking twice. And like, I don't know when he did it. Like, I don't know if it was in like a week's time span or a month, but he did it anyway, and he did it twice. Like, bro, do you not see this as a fucking problem that hurts getting the story out about the actual fucking victims? Holy Christ.
one topic can weigh objectively more in regards to the seriousness of the allegations mentioned. But SS Sniper Wolf was a pretty big story at the time, which involved a larger creator revealing the home location of another creator critical of them. It wasn't meaningful playground nonsense. It actually had real tangible implications on YouTube.
Right!
Anyways, the video begins with a disclaimer which now doesn't mention any fictitious elements. He hopes the video brings crucial eyes to topics such as youth trafficking, serving as what he believes is a guide to easily digestible content regarding these serious topics. He starts a parody of this talking head video showing a fictional creator covering lighter topics, but chooses to discuss serious topics as he cuts to Sniper Wolf. He cuts to Spencer, and then multiple victims calling for actions. He summarizes Spencer's story again and makes claims of a dangerous sex cult that is led by a werewolf god recruiting hundreds of young children. Where's the hard evidence? I think by now you probably realize that there's nothing that he's showing is necessarily hard evidence. So he presents new things in this video, except it's all hidden in between frames of this massively schizophrenic editing and incoherent garbage. Look, this is a serious matter.
I'm not the most prolific editor, but if I were to make a video about how something is so serious and how we should all pay attention and how we should care, I'm not going to bore you about the fucking I'm not gonna bore you about Sniper Wolf while also giving you Marvel Cinematic Universe in credit scenes about the next video I'm gonna make. The anus is quivering and not the way that I want it to.
Matter. Please present it seriously. Leave this on for people to digest and provide context to what you're showing. So I'm going to go frame by frame and show you each and every single screenshot to show you exactly what he's shown. So one of the actual posts he shows is from Whisper, a social media app that promotes you to speak openly and honestly about yourself. It's meant to be this anonymous social media app that lets you post and share photo messages with text embottled on top of them. Here's the post where they're asking the reader if they're human, they want to learn about being supernatural, and if their age is between 11 to 18. Please message them. Now, while this is an alarming post, it would help if Max could try to link this directly to Cade or to any person and bring this up the chain, explain the context. But without that context, it's just a screenshot that exists. The next screenshot he shows is from a messaging app, I assume Facebook Messenger, where it's cropped unfortunately, and I can't seem to get an identity of the parties. And also screenshots are incredibly tough, at least for me in those cases, because as you've noticed with situations like Dream, where he faked DMs from Pokimane and XQC, and there were some people that actually believe this. It's easy to fake a screenshot. So again, the whole concept of just looking at a screenshot is tough, at least personally for me. Unless I can log into the account and refresh from the server, then things are different. But this is a cropped argument, and it's a clear argument between two individuals. One who appears to be reaching out to a person to explain reason to them, telling them that they're looking out for them. The other person, says Cade, who is the person Max is alleging to be this cult leader, of course, is stating they have one more time to bother his family before he tries to make a visit to Texas, implying this violent threat, and a response is, try me then. The next screenshot of a Twitter account called Camden exists, where the handle ID Black Angel is cut off. And using a Twitter advanced search for this, the account yielded no results, which unfortunately means I can't prove this screenshot from Twitter even exists. And I also wonder why Max cut off the handle for people to look up on Twitter. The other mention is literally a public post from this Camden individual saying, getting sucked by Kirby equals raisin balls. What is the context here? How does this explain the cult? How does this explain anything? This is why people are mad. He is presenting these screenshots like they're damning evidences, and they are not. He then shows social media accounts that are on Snapchat of allegedly belonging to Cade, which again, what context does this add? What does this mean? He then shows a social media direct message from, I assume this is the app Whisper. Correct me if I'm wrong. And again, if you read the chat, I was bitten by a wolf. That's how I became one. Can you show you in your form, werewolf form? What's the context? What are we talking about here, man? This could be anything. He then shows the Twitter account that belongs to Cade, and he actually gives a handle, but this account has been inactive since 2016, really. The next thing he shows is from a public Facebook account from Camden that says, suck it raw. Again, what is the context? Okay, I probably wrote suck my dick publicly somewhere too. Does that mean that I've done something nefarious or I could be running a cult? What is the context to these messages? You have to be able to provide them, otherwise people are going to be confused. He then shows the only tangible piece of evidence in this, for me at least, where it shows Spencer and Camden together in a photograph, which proves that they've met in reality. He then shows more images of random people, couples blurred out that I can't exactly identify, and he's also done a poor job of blurring them out too, so I'm gonna add more blur on top of the blur. But what does this mean? What is the context behind some of these images? The only ones important to me are of Cade and Spencer, because those are the only people that he's introduced us to. He shows us one screenshot of somebody making devil horns in an Instagram selfie, and again, poorly blurred, but what is the context here? He's even blurred out the actual Instagram blur, the little text blur that even talks about this. What is the context? He then shows an image of a bite mark, which again, I have to ask, what is the context? Is Max showing this as a evidence of physical abuse? Without context, it could be anything. It could be somebody getting a hickey. It could be whatever. Max doesn't do this. He doesn't elaborate on what he shows. He just presents it as part of this flashy editing. The next screen grab is Charlie talking about Sniper Wolf, which I assume is a jab because he tried to get Charlie's attention, but Charlie wasn't having it. He was busy, had COVID at the time, and just didn't jump into this.
Stop ignoring Mamamax. Yeah, still here. You want me to talk about it a little bit? That rubbed me the wrong way. We talked a month ago about what he was working on in his investigation, and then apparently when I had COVID, he messaged me a couple times and I never saw it, and now he's taken that as me ghosting him and ignoring his very important mission, and it really rubs me the wrong way. Instead of just he's jumping to the most extreme possible explanation for me not seeing it, which is really fucking cringe. That did make me upset. There, yeah, that really rubbed me the wrong way. I had COVID, and I barely used Discord in the first place. It was a miracle I ever even saw his message to begin with, and then I spent 12 days not doing anything online in bed. And during that time, apparently, it changed his whole framing of the video in order to make it like a Trojan horse of cancel critical because he didn't respond to my messages and ghosted me.
Boo-hoo!
Yeah, that rubbed me the wrong way. Good intentions, but I did not like that.
So then he shifts it to the National Human Trafficking Hotline that gives statistics on trafficking reports. Again, you haven't linked onto the trafficking situation. It's all been random screenshots without context connecting a story together that many people just aren't understanding. He shows one screenshot that describes how Cade told me not to. But you also want to know what your humble leader did to me? He convinced me to go to his house at the end of last August and engage with him. He told me, and I still talk to the guy that drove me there. I also almost got arrested for walking to his place at 2 a.m. one day because every full moon we have to have. And also, don't forget the miscarriages he made me induce. This is the only other piece of evidence or conversation that is pertaining to this very serious topic. Everything else is insanity. So Max explains how his sister got him in contact with the story. He switches the discussion to mass surveillance, explains how evil markets such as forced labor and trafficking exist, which is true. But how does this tie back to the story of Cade and the allegations you've made? Again, he hasn't provided solid evidence. He's just...
It's kind of this reminds me of when people would fucking tell me that, hey, we have all these fucking stories of fake hate crimes and they're actually real, and how dare you sit there and try to speak about these like that. What does it have to do with the motherfucker who actually faked the hate crime? What does it have to do with anything that pertains to reality? Just a little bit.
Sort of thrown things on a dartboard, haphazardly tried to connect them, and made a fool out of himself. He goes on to this unrelated rant on artificial intelligence and how it can be used to manipulate and exploit vulnerabilities. And after this, they have a call to influencers that they should use their platforms to become agents of change by platforming unsubstantiated claims, apparently. It shifts to this part where he chastises Charlie by showing tons of communications he's attempted to have. And again, like I told you, Charlie wasn't there at the time. He had COVID, and he was in bed for 2 weeks, unable to really, look into the situation. Now this video is like the final nail in the coffin. People really started losing faith, and I hope you understand why. Look, Max made a joke of the situation, in my opinion. He was brought this story, and honestly, it caused a lot of people who were already watching this raising serious questions on his character, serious questions on the validity of this case. And in response, Max didn't make any follow-up video to explain this case properly. Instead, he hosted these live streams, inviting all manners of creators. I even joined in, and I explained to him what I explained privately. Max, as you can imagine, has not listened, which is why we are here right now, to discuss a story that should have been delivered with seriousness and not showmanship. And I'm going to briefly go over the story of Spencer now, and her interaction with Cade. Now, Spencer's story is the part that Max has been harping throughout the entire 3 videos that he's made. And the video that Max wants you to go...
Aren't there more victims? Aren't there more victims? why are we only talking about the one? Is like the one the most damning? Is the one the most crucial here? Because in my eyes, it's kind of not. Not to say that a motherfucker is lying. It's to say, yo, we got a whole fucking tree of victims here that need our help, bro. Like, let's get active. Let's go crazy and put a motherfucker behind bars. Like, that's the only thing I can think about here. I can't think about shit else. Where are the other fucking victims? They deserved a moment to fucking get to the truth, don't they? Like, fucking don't they? I'm also trying to focus on potentially winning this game. I'm also focusing on potentially winning this game. And I can't, unfortunately, press play because I'm sorry. I know we're all here to look at Budahar's video, but we've now reached the magnum opus of our time together. I had to follow him. I'm sorry. I had to follow him. I'm sorry. I know we're all here for important journalistic reasons. Oh, God. I jumped on a guess. Ooh. Ooh. I cheated and I won. Okay.
Go watch is a 4 to 5 hour podcast from Spencer's actual channel.
I'm so sorry,
Now,
Dick. I'm so sorry to anybody. I'm so sorry.
Are 100% interested in the complete accounting from her end regarding the story, I highly recommend you go check her video out. But the problem is, these videos that are this long are obviously going to have a drop off.
I'm so sorry. I just took away like all forms of seriousness from this shit. I'm so fucking sorry.
Understands this, I understand this, and if you made YouTube videos for longer than a week, you probably also understand this as well. Reality is, Max has to be concise and explain the story properly. Now, in this situation, the best video I could find that concisely explains this for the audience's first viewing is by a YouTuber known as Slime Beast, who basically made the video, What the F is Mamamax talking about? Werewolf Cult Simplified. And by all means, it's a pretty good video that explains how this situation was effectively about Spencer, who was a 16-year-old girl who met an 18-year-old Camden online, who was only found out that he was 18 at the time from Slime Beast's actual assessment into public police records. So, of course, Spencer ran away from home to live with Camden, an 18-year-old person that she met. And, of course, going in forward, Spencer's presence in Camden's family home was a secret, giving him full control over what she was allowed to do, which is one of the points of contention for a lot of people. She lived there for 3.5 to 4 months, and the mother, and it appears that other people may not have an idea that she was there the entire time. Again, 3 to 4 months, I'm sure that human beings, no matter how busy you are, you may have an idea that somebody else, other than the people you know, is living in your house.
And not in the black household. You gotta know who you know who coming and going out that motherfucker. You can't get away with that in the black household. Might be that white privilege they be talking about on the news and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
You catch them sleeping, maybe something happens. This is a point of contention, but again, I'm not here to go into contention. I'm here to relay what the supposed facts of this entire situation is, and why it's been lost in the miasma of confusion. So during this time, Spencer was abused in multiple ways by Camden, allegedly, by her own account, which that is effectively the story. Camden also tried to get Spencer to sleep with people that he had found online, allegedly. So again, this is effectively the quick summarization of what is Spencer's story. I highly recommend you check out her channel and her video to get her full accounting, because there are a lot more details that are interesting.
I'm stopping this whole stream because I now see what I'm now seeing. Okay, here we go. Look. For anybody who's like here for the whole shebang of Mamamax, just like give me a second. Just give me a second, cause I'm here for a different reason. I gotta even stop playing Fall Guys for this one, cause now I gotta hear how this goes. I gotta hear how this goes for a second. Leon, you okay? No, I'm tired. But you know what? Fuck it. We on the grind, baby. I want to hear this.
Woman known as Brick Lady charged in Houston after.
Matter of fact, before that, let me do something. Let me do something right before that. I haven't seen this. I haven't. It just came out. Uh-oh, what happened? No, don't you worry. Oh, don't you worry, baby. We're giving credence, we're giving precedent. So like I'm sorry, impromptu style. I'm not doing it. We're just gonna hold this right here and we're gonna come right back. Okay, continue, good sir, consciously.
After being accused of making the whole thing up, raising $42,000. So nobody read the article though, huh? Consciously, when are you gonna apologize? Because that little heifer was scamming. I told you she was scamming, she was lying. When you gonna apologize? The apology better be as loud as the support for her too. And before we even get into what the article proves and disproves, let's state the obvious. A lot of y'all don't have as much hope and legitimacy into the system or the legal process.
He's about to do it. False equivalency time.
Until it's about disproving support of a black woman. Then all of a sudden, y'all become legal advocates because just a couple of days.
They turn this into why you shouldn't date white women. Before he even finished his sentence, this is why you didn't see me make a video about this shit, because I was interested, but I saw them turn this into why you shouldn't date white women, and I completely gave up.
Years ago, y'all was all about Martin Luther Majors being a victim of the system because his victim lied about the details in which how it happened. The article proves that she was assaulted, but that she did not give the correct details about how it happened. According to charging documents, Osman and Douglas were in an argument and Douglas reportedly swung his right hand while holding what appeared to be a plastic bottle and struck Osman in the face. Now, why is the headline written in the way to presume she made the whole thing up when the article itself states that she was assaulted, but that she allegedly lied about how she was assaulted? So for the people in the back, the reason why she's being charged with fraud is because law enforcement has said, no, you were assaulted, but you lied about how you said you was assaulted. Therefore, all the money you raised is fraud, which literally leaves me scratching my goddamn head. Now, the GoFundMe that is being called into question was about helping her recover and paying for medical bills because she was assaulted. Now, the article itself states that she was assaulted. So what a fraud come in? So y'all gonna piss on my hand and tell me it's raining, huh? The article also states they were able to find video of the defendant and another person who they believe was the accused assaulter. They got in the car. They both got out the car. The defendant slapped the male who responded by slapping her back. He did have a water bottle on his hand, and we think that's what left a mark on her face, but it was mutual combat. That's what they said. So they charged this woman with fraud because she said she was hit by a brick, but they said she was hit by a water bottle, but they do acknowledge she was hit. They do acknowledge it was marks left on her face. So she can't get a GoFundMe to take care of what put.
It's been 2 minutes and 13 seconds. He brought up the mutual combat. He has not brought up that this woman hit the man first from video evidence.
But, and then this really the part that had me scratching my ass. TikTokers provide police.
I feel like, hold on, before I say my next word, let me do something real fast. Let me do something. Let me do a little bit of journalism real fast. Let me cook real quick. Let me cook real quick. So the problem so far with Conscious Lee and many others who are going to play this game is they're speaking as if this whole thing is one article. The problem is that he's reading parts of this from one article, which is fine, but he's not letting you know that he's reading it from a completely separate article that also gives more information about this. When he's talking about the questions and he's putting it in bold and he's reading out that it was mutual combat, he's not letting you know that this is from a second article that came out from someone else who wrote a whole different thing. Because if you remember, the person who wrote the first article about this was a black woman, the most disrespected group in American history. So when you play this game of trying to act all high and mighty because people are coming to you and saying you should correct the record just a little bit, you have to do it in an honest manner, because the Bush League way he's going about doing this is pathetic and sad. But let's continue.
Police information on Osman false claims past alleged scams. During the investigation, detectives said they received call from Daphne Sutton, a mental health advocate and blogger on TikTok, who believed Osman was conducting a scam because similar situation happened in Minneapolis in 2020. Daphne Sutton, the queen of accountability that literally made about 30, you know what I'm saying, it's exaggeration. I say probably like 10 to 15 different Twitter videos about her calling Houston law enforcement and saying, hey, Ro, yeah, she's scamming. Queen of accountability. So according to law enforcement, it was a plastic water bottle that left this mark on her face. Not no saline, not no injections, not that she made it up. Like, it was a water bottle, apparently. Second thing, They claim in the article it was mutual combat. That's what the law enforcement said, but one individual had a object, the other one did not, and the individual that had an object was a man, but it's mutual combat. Interesting.
I'm gonna. This stroke is gonna be immaculate that I have here. The stroke is gonna be immaculate. It is. It is. It is. Because children, I'm gonna read the part that, hold on, let me go back. What's that part he had in bold there? Huh. You see what's in bold right there?
Defendant and another person who they believe
Hold on. Let's see him read it in full, and maybe I'm crazy.
states that she was assaulted. So what a fraud come in? So y'all gonna piss on my hand and tell me it's raining, huh? The article also states they were able to find video of the defendant and another person who they believe was the accused assaulter. They got in the car. They both got out the car. The defendant slapped the male who responded by slapping her back.
The moral of the story is keep your fucking hands to yourself. That's what you take away from this shit. That's what you take away from this shit. He read it and still made this shit out to be different. I want to, just for a second, the comments, you just being dumb right now, of cause, because that's wrong. Of course, people don't read because headline sells more. People will run with that. That's fine. It's okay to admit you were wrong. Just like everybody else who made up the story and utilized a moment to better themselves financially, she isn't really entitled to any of this money because her whole story is fictitious because her details aren't true. There was no brick. It was a water bottle, glass bottle, whatever the fuck it was. These articles really doing all they can to discredit this black woman. She may have lied about how it happened, but she is 100% assaulted. Was she assaulted, or was she somebody that met a consequence to her actions? Because one could make the claim that she assaulted him. And he responded by assaulting her back. Which would lead me to believe the lesson, once again, is keep your motherfucking hands to yourself. She told you she got assaulted, but the way she got assaulted, that's the lie. So that that's what they gonna hang on. She got assaulted, but the way she got assaulted, it doesn't take away. I mean, he's right. He's saying she got the money from a fabricated truth. She didn't lie, but she did alter it to ensure the general public would sympathize and support her, which is a lie. Like, it's a lie. Like, dead ass is a lie. Who did I mute? You need to be a PR person? Oh, Lord. I read the article. She changed her story multiple times, and her friend had a completely different story. Her video she made was about putting black men down, not protecting her. You're kind of dancing around the main situation here. You have no... Okay, so there's a collection of people on his side, collection of people not on his side. What's this part? It's intellectually dishonest to gloss over the specific part when it's the crux of the issue. It's not assault if someone hits you back after you initiate violence. You started the fight and then made up a lie about being hit with a brick and almost kidnapped, all for money. Here's another thing. Didn't she mention almost being kidnapped? Did she not mention almost being kidnapped? Did I miss that? Did I truly fucking miss that for a second? I just want out the window. I just want completely out the window of this motherfucker. I just want, God, just out the window with this motherfucker. I really just, one good time, just, yeah, out the window with this motherfucker. I truly do. I truly do. I truly do. I truly just want, yeah, out the window with that motherfucker, bro. Just like a cool little, bah, you know what I'm saying? Just like a, bah, like I'm Jackie Robinson. Back in my day, I could go bing, you know what I'm saying? Just get a cool home run off that. I'd get a cool home run off that. This man turned into Steve Wilkos. I just might. I truly just might. So, like, allow me. Get off my stage. Get off my stage is crazy. Get off my stage is crazy. What is so great about not only this person, but the many other people who are going to grasp at straws to make it seem like this woman is still the victim, they're glossing over the really important fact that she initiated contact first, so anybody with a brain can say she assaulted him first, and he responded by assaulting back. And the reason why I'm a little bit pissed off is because you won't have these same people who were so loud months ago be loud about how wrong they were. You can talk about and grasp at any straw that you want, saying she was still hit, so why are y'all attacking her and saying she has to show medical records? Because she was making this story bigger than what it seemed. Some people were believing it, some people were being skeptical, some people for some reason were making this about how they don't want to date black men or black women, which is the stupidest thing y'all could have possibly done, when all any of y'all had to do was wait. But no, you didn't want to wait, you wanted to dig your heels into the ground, and now look at a bunch of you, either right or wrong. And the sad part is about the people that's wrong, they're going to pick anything out of the article and make sure that that will be the thing that they hang on. They won't address anything else. They won't address how this was a crock of shit. They won't bring up anything that's in the article that directly contradicts this story, from somebody getting hit with a brick because they rejected a number and they got almost kidnapped and no black men wanted to help them. They're just gonna fixate on, she actually did get hit, just so you all know, it just wasn't with a brick, it was with a water bottle. So you should also pay attention to how she was assaulted, and you're all just trying to hurt and discredit a black woman. Stop this shit. Just stop it. You don't have to do it like this. You don't have to be one of these people dying on this hill. All you gotta say is, back the wrong horse. But because you motherfuckers don't want to do that, and you want to make these TikTok responses because people on your ass, because you was one of the loudest people saying, I'm sticking up for this person, and y'all kind of weird, and y'all don't really respect black women the way y'all say y'all do.
New donation from the gentleman break.
It's pathetic. It truly is. It's sad, but y'all gonna do it. Y'all gonna sit here, y'all gonna do y'all little think pieces about how black men in the wrong, black women in the wrong, when you should just fucking say this based on the evidence the police have. Not you fuckers on TikTok, but the police have it. They went through it and they broadcast this shit to you. You got it wrong. Take their fucking word and go based off of that. Don't go based off of your random pot chain smoking. Don't go based off of your TikTok live streams. Go based on the evidence they are providing you about this situation you cared about so much. Don't turn around and say, how about y'all focus on real issues of assault? No! You made this real. You made it important. Now it's time to get bit in the ass. Nothing else. Nothing more. Nothing less. She lied about 2/3 of the story. Hooray! Hooray!
If you don't kill yourself,
New donation
I
from
will
Conscious
kick your
Break.
ass.
Don't stop that. Don't stop that. Don't stop that. Please don't. No, stop that. Don't mind me. I'm compiling the bits and pieces of this motherfucker being out loud about this shit. Like, and I follow consciously. But my head hurt. My fucking head hurt. She refused the guy. There's nothing about a phone number. There's nothing there. There's nothing about a phone number. There's nothing true about rejection via phone number. Nothing. And I'm gonna add this. Look. All right, so look. I'm about to. That whole little rant I just went on. I recorded that, and I'm gonna deal with that once I'm done with the stream entirely. This next part, I'm gonna record, and I'm gonna say subscribe and all that. That's not the end of the stream. We'll get back to the Mamamax shit. Okay. We got that clear. Because I'm still interested in that. I was waiting for it. That's what I said at the beginning of the stream. I'm getting a headache. I don't know how you do it, Leon. This shit would drive me crazy. I mean, look at me. Do I look normal right now? Do I look normal to you right now? I look disheveled. Leon ain't all right? He's not. He's not all right. He's not all right. Because you know what? Stupid shit irk me. It do. And the sad part is, usually, I would be just like marinating. I'd be resting right now. I'd be on the game. I'd be cooling. But I have absorbed too much stupid at once, and it's hurting my brain. It's affecting my cranium. Send Leon body pillows. If there's anything that I would request you not do, it's that. Like, please don't. Because I don't necessarily need nor want that in my life after a certain point. You know? You understand? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? How they say? You know? Anime. See, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. The moral of the story goes like this. Stop being bitter to the point where you're just going to believe random stories 100% of the time. If you are going to be like that and evidence comes out that completely derails everything you believed in for days, weeks, months, even years, just say, oops, got this wrong, got this part of the story wrong. Don't be trying to scapegoat this. Don't be trying to piece everything together. And just so that we're all clear, because I feel like I didn't stress this point enough, your bitterness towards the opposite sex means fucking nothing. Also, don't bring up other things to try to make your point seem stronger. It don't work when you have a story that you believed 100% of somebody almost being kidnapped and getting hit upside the head with a brick because she didn't give her phone number when all of that was a crock of shit. Subscribe to the channel. Get the fuck out my face. Oh, okay. We're going back to the Mamamax shit. I have everything I need to make video. I have everything I need. So expect with all this shit you just heard tomorrow, because I'm not dealing with it today. Mama. Look, Fall Guy. We send this man some insomnia. Insomnia cookie is like good, but only when you high. How about we send a body pillow of himself? You know what? Why not?
To here. And it's not entirely even about Spencer too. So again, going in further, the cult aspect, which is by far the most embellished aspect and the most unexplained one by Max so far.
What happened to my armrest? Oh, they somehow folded up. I was about to scream.
Werewolf God, allegedly, and amongst other things, whatever deities they may be, he convinced Spencer and others that they too were vampires, werewolves, and they were hunted by outside forces, which meant that they should all stay together as a pack, a family. He claimed that he could send their dead loved ones to hell if he could, and again, through these methods, this guy allegedly controlled various targets and people who were joining into his fold. He would then have his followers try to recruit others online, some as young as 11, and that is, of course, alleged. Now, of course, this is a quick, concise explanation, and I highly recommend you check out the channel Slime Beast, who actually did cover and read through this as well too, and it lines up with my personal interview with Spencer that I had a few days ago, and generally, like, watching through the 4 to 5 hour piece. I think this is probably the best, concise way that Max should have put it. And here's the reality. There are actual things that are alleged here that are more important than even the cult aspect. The story that is provided should be treated with a serious nature, instead of the tangents that Max wanted to go to. But of course, this is the problem when a YouTuber who is way out of their depth jumps into a story that they honestly shouldn't even be relaying and should absolutely hand it off to professionals at the very beginning. There is no excuse for this. This is purely on Max's screw-up that people are looking at the story in such a confusing manner. The other takeaway from this is Spencer's video is that Max was also apparently being investigated by the FBI.
A failure of calling county police is what you would say. I don't think it was the police, because like I said, I went through trafficking 911 and they handed it off to the FBI.
Terrible advice.
That's interesting. I literally got a card on my front fence from the FBI. They didn't bother contacting you. No.
Spencer also brought victims, and I can't stress this enough. She admitted that she went on social media apps and started to form connections with people that could be as young as...
What was the operation like? Did he tell y'all, like, go to these places? So my particular recruitment style that he also encouraged others to do it this way too, was to go on Whisper and post about, oh, hey, if you want to join a family dynamic and be a part of a pack, hit me up on Kick, you know, or like DM me and then we'd give them the kick. So there was one time he did have me lure a girl like physically.
Now that said, I'm not qualified to be speaking on these situations because again, without evidence and without properly understanding the story, I don't know the proper accounts. That's for Max to detail and describe. If he's not putting in the effort, how can he reasonably expect every other influencer in the world to put in the effort to interview and understand and then make claims on cases like this? Now what you're about to hear is a portion of a call that me, Max, Spencer, and another YouTuber by the name of Nicholas Diorio had when interviewing and confronting Max about the situation. And while the first hour of that call was more centered around Spencer's story, the second hour of this call was more around Max's demeanor and his actions regarding this investigation. And there are quite a few bombshells in here that we personally feel are a little too irresponsible, I guess if you wanted to put it lightly. Max had actually revealed to us that there were portions where he didn't even properly vet and timeline all of the evidence.
I guess the challenge for me with showing the evidence is I personally have not been walked through the evidence besides Spencer's. The survivors in the server, not all of them are as active as we would like them to be. Obviously, a lot of them have trauma. They talk about it, and that it's hard for them to actually just sit down and speak with me. But that's why I've been just asking the general public to please be patient. Like, there's a lot of things we need to wait for. I am just trying to get the word out that this is Camden Gerard Davis. This is what the accusations against him are. And it's also, you can also, like, we are fine saying this is all alleged. Like, we are fine.
But you can't just say it's alleged now. You can call it a pedophile.
Yeah, 100%. I'm fine doing it because I trust them. But
okay, but you said you
Okay, I'm gonna let this play while also downloading these videos just in case our good boy Conscious decides, you know what, people aren't believing Lee. Let me go hide.
Review most of the evidence besides Spencer, though.
Give me moments.
I just haven't had the context as to what it is pertaining to.
So you look at the evidence, but you don't understand.
Yeah, in the exact timeline, which has been just one of many reasons why it's been such a struggle to create the comprehensive timelines. Because I'm waiting on a lot of different things.
But you see, that's why people are inflamed with you right now. It's because you just told me in this call that you didn't properly review every single victim, and now. And just from this one clip, you can ascertain the complete frustration that I and many others have had when communicated by Max about the situation. How is it that you can make calls to action and blatant statements of fact when, at the end of the day, you have literally not even properly reviewed, you have not properly contextualized, and even timelined every single bit of evidence that consistently builds? You're clearly not an investigator built for this case, and it's not literally because someone like him is out of his head because he only is one person. I have done plenty of investigations. I've just never revealed and played my hand and explained things until I fully understood them. How Max couldn't do it for such a serious situation like this is insane, and that's where we're leading to now, is his unethical practices, not just in this investigation, but other previous investigations that a lot of people have been casting doubt over. Now, unfortunately, with situations as messy as this, Max's unethical coverage needs to be talked about. Max has been live streaming by bringing these victims on to discuss and debate with randoms on the internet. And for the most part, this has been very unhelpful. And this time could have been better spent with him preparing this evidence, the timelines, preparing a video, and discussing the situation properly. The levels of productivity on these live streams are so fucking low that at one point he brings on Keemstar.
Lyrics, please do not name drop my exes on my stream.
Well, why wouldn't you just tell?
Why are you running cover? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was talking to Max though.
Yeah, you can hear me. Why are you running cover for these vampire?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing, Keem. Good shit.
Vampire in the Minecraft community, you're going around, you're running cover for a fucking storm of EDP 445s. You're gonna flood the world with EDP 445s.
And Keemstar brings up old 2016 memes. In this moment, these girls have to sit there and basically realize that their entire story is being invalidated in real time, is being made a mockery of in real time, as Max doesn't bring a serious person to discuss this topic. It's also questionable with the relationship that—
Could you fucking imagine, like, you're a victim. Like imagine you're a victim, and you, for some ungodly reason, come to, of all people, me. And you want my assistance in helping you get your story out there. And I proceed to do a live stream where we dick around and make memes right in front of your face. I'm sorry, but what blatant disrespect. Like, what a way to just say, fuck victims. You just sit them in front of you and do really shitty live streams in front of them. where they have to sit there and listen to you meme. Like, you actively participate in this shit. You don't just sit there. You're an active participant where you sit there and you giggle and you ha 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 ha. This is so funny. Ha ha ha. Keemstar, Keemy Weemy. This is terrible. This is.
That Max has with law enforcement in regards to prosecuting or assisting to prosecute this case. When confronted on a live stream by other YouTubers, he actually had a lot of questionable statements to make regarding the specific topic and whether they were working with law enforcement or whether they weren't. And this raised a lot of concerns, and again, another red flag to me.
We're not going to court, Xylee.
So what are you doing? Just hunting them down like a deer? Is that what we're doing? What are we doing?
Have you not been listening to the stream?
I know, but you loop. You loop, and then you always look to somebody else for an answer. You can't give an answer yourself.
I'm answering you.
What are you doing then? Tell me right now. I will be quiet for you to answer, and go.
So when we reached out to the lawyer, he told us it would not be beneficial to pursue a case against Camden Gerard Davis because he likely does not have substantial assets. So he recommended that we all go in person to report him to the police station that is in his jurisdiction.
So they didn't tell you to go into the... Okay, is he still in the same jurisdiction that the crime occurred?
For the most recent survivors, yes.
Okay, because I was always under the impression you have to go into the jurisdiction that the crime occurred. All right? Then yes, carry your pretty asses over to that jurisdiction and go, hey, Mr. Police Officer, I have a crime to report. Yes, that's what needs to be done.
Yes,
hell, you might even be able... And because since, you know, COVID and stuff like that, you might even be able to do it over the phone. I don't know. Because I've only dealt with... I know you're in a different state now, you know what I'm saying? But I've had to do it. I've had to do stuff like this before on my own accord. But yes, you need to go to the police of the jurisdiction of where the crime occurred and go, hello, Mr. Officer, can you help me?
Yes, that is what we're doing.
Okay, that should have been done before all these live streams.
Again, this is by far the most important part, is the relationship to the law enforcement. Again, it's not really properly conveyed in my opinion whether this is a criminal, civil case, what departments are properly involved, just how the evidence has been submitted. This is a key concern of mine and many others, and it should be a key concern if you want to see justice actually delivered. And of course, as people have looked into this, a lot of shifting has went into what Mamamax's previous content and the validity of it also meant. About a month ago, actual Redditors started to investigate Max's older content. Seeing the unhinged livestream caused me to wonder about some of Max's past content. His newest God Cult and his current project stuff has been reviewed so many times. So I wanted to watch an old video, and particularly his Cartoon Incorporated video, IMVU, and Puppy Stomp. So while this is a very long post that you can read, one of the oddities, and I'll summarize them to the best of my abilities, is with Cartoon Incorporated conveniently considered lost media as a channel that posted it cannot be found. The Frozen 3 video is edited with a similar style to Max's older content. Brainwashing clip. Subliminal messages hidden within the clip uses the font Pixture Granular, a unique font type that appears in Max's later videos. The font type is not a default font on Windows OS or in Adobe Fonts, meaning the font was searched for and downloaded or purchased. Side note, someone recreated Cartoon Incorporated and posted breakdowns of the brainwashing clip. What is the likelihood that Max shares the same unusual font with something he happened across that literally no one else can find? Editing style also seems similar to his old video intros. IMVU. It is implied in the video that an account under the name Casey was exploited by Pablo Sunny. Remember that name? The account only has one friend, Pablo. Max makes note of how she's isolated and moves on quickly. Max supposedly finds the YouTube account owned by the same person by image searching her profile picture. The image is from Naruto. Now, how could one reverse search and find that specific YouTube page? Screenshot of IMVU profile, Naruto character, and YouTube page. So this is the one right over here, Naruto profile picture, IMVU, you get the point. He implies that he somehow gained access to the account to locate these unlisted videos. One of them is titled, "This is where you killed me," and depicts a bloody white sheet in the woods. With Casey corresponding with herself in the comments, it is implied that she herself or disappeared off the internet. Oddly enough, the completely inactive Casey accounts no longer exist on YouTube and IMVU. They were deleted at the same time Max and Sylphid's IMVU accounts were also deleted. The most similar Casey account I could track down in 2002 and appears to be entirely unrelated. And then he claims in a Discord Q&A that Casey is actually alive.
About Pablo Sunny again. Does he know he's been caught or something? Oh wait,
Yes,
is there an update on Casey?
Why are you in a fucking loud-ass Discord with all these... Now look, I don't know how Discord works. If this is like a callers thing where a bunch of people call in, this is a shit show on biblical proportions.
About Pablo Sunny again. Does he know he's been...
None of these people should be here. You should not be parading evidence through a fucking Discord!
Been caught or something. Oh wait, is there an update on Casey? Can you talk about how you got into the account or how you found it? Yeah, that's a bit much.
I can't talk too much about Casey. I don't know what I can and can't say. I will tell you that, yes, she's okay. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, thank God. I didn't even know that. Holy shit. That's something I wanted to actually jump in VC with you about at some point.
Yes, but...
Thank God.
So in one surface, he says that she could be dead, and then all of a sudden she's okay. There's been no proof that this Casey person even existed. Now, I'm not going to sit here and make an unsubstantiated claim. At the end of the day, I haven't had the time to sit down and review every single bit of Max's back catalog as I've been researching his current investigation. However, during the call with me, Max, Nick, and Spencer, he was absolutely telling at the time that you shouldn't really be taking a lot of his content seriously. It's meant to entertain. The facts are often embellished or at least simulated when it comes to producing movies, which I think is really ethically damning when it comes to producing content that is all about hunting down children or, you know, pinning a lot of these crimes or implicating a lot of these public services on cases like this.
So recently, people have been saying that your investigations kind of skew the line between fact and fiction because they're finding things that you've created as context for the video. I think people are pointing to the Discord server that you were an admin of when you were showing it. The lawsuit that you changed the name or whatever. How much of what you do is kayfabe and how much of it is legitimately like live? This is the investigation. Here it is. So the investigations themselves are real, but obviously the films have fictional elements. There's multiple reasons. Like for example, the admin thing on the Discord server, I had to recreate it. Yeah, that was a recreation because I didn't have the originals. The IMVU thing, I wasn't. I don't know why people are saying like it's a film. Like I'm presenting it as if it were to be real, but I didn't think people would take it as that. Like, well, you find pedophiles. You don't think that people are going to think your videos are real? So that's the thing. So I want everyone, when you watch my video, to assume everything is fake, except like when I show a face and what they're doing.
Again, why are we interspersing fact and fiction when it comes to incredibly serious stories like this? Look, I'm not...
So look, I'm a film extraordinaire. Not really. If I were to dedicate my life to making YouTube videos where I am seeking justice, I am not going to turn around and say, yeah, this is me trying to make a film out of this. Like, actually...
Here to say if Max is definitively faking his stuff or not. People definitely have their suspicions. But the thing about it is if you're admitting that you don't want people to think your content is real, how can you honestly take the responsibility to cover serious cases like this when you are admitting that, yes, my audience, if they watch my videos, I don't want them to think anything is real unless I show this person's face and make serious accusations. Look, either all of it is real because this is supposed to be an investigation. This is not some movie, okay? This is not some fictionalized media. Even media that does dramatic recreations is following facts, okay? If that's the content they're trying to produce, if the content they want to produce is making investigations where they're going after the darkest corners of the internet, people have a very reasonable expectation to believe it's real. So again, with Max's former content coming into question, that also shows you that maybe questioning everything that Max shares is probably the only way to go now. If the man is willing to fabricate some things for videos, and again, in a call that we had with Max, it very much is apparently the fact. He is not above, actually. So this is an interesting part of the situation. We actually know about the Pablo Sunny stuff at a closer heart. So I had a call with Max alongside Nicholas DiOrio, Spencer, the victim, and of course him in a Discord call a couple days ago. And inside this call, he actually claims that he doesn't know if anybody has been arrested.
Have you ever gotten someone arrested?
If I have, then I don't know it.
You went on my
You
podcast.
mean you
telling me
don't
got
know
arrested because
it?
of your video.
Why would you? This was talked about yesterday. Why don't you know that you've gotten somebody arrested?
Just to be clear, would you like to re-answer the question?
I've been emailed stuff like, hey, you got this guy arrested, congratulations.
You went on and you said, this guy was arrested, it was because of me, it was because of my video. And you told me that 2 years ago.
It's kind of egotistical of me to say. That was my video that did it. I don't know that for sure.
But then you said recently that he fled to the Philippines. So was Sunny ever arrested? Pablo Sunny? Did that ever even happen?
Yes, he did. All we know is that his last location we picked him up from was Mexico. Whether he fled to the Philippines or not, we don't know. We just know he has family there, and that's the most likely destination they would go to. Just because.
But he was in, so he was arrested. That was.
Pablo Sunny? I don't think so. I think he got away.
Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, if he was arrested, I have no idea.
Why did you tell me he was arrested? You said Pablo Sunny was arrested and my video did it. Why did you lie to me on my show?
Do you have a clip of that?
Yes, it's in something I've been currently editing.
Yeah, send it to me.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. I think there's even a video on YouTube. Actually, can you just jump in the screen share? I'll just pull it over. Because somebody archived it.
I guess I can hear stuff. I can't see
Perfect.
anything.
That's all you need because the visual, the drawing. Okay, here you go. This is the 2 clips, contrasting clips of Pablo Sunny. Okay, so obviously one of them is December 29th, and the other is, December 29th, 2021, and the other is November 27th, 2023. Okay.
Okay.
What is your primary goal? Is that then? There's no. What's your other?
Well, I guess the question is like the next getting at is like, okay, so you want to enact this change. What do you hope is the eventual result of your video?
Okay.
Of all this.
So I know there's people out there saying I'm doing it to self-serve. I just want my video back up. I don't give a shit if my video comes back up. It did what it needed to do. So that was in the video.
It really didn't, if you really think about it really hard.
Currently in police custody. And
was that as a result of your video, or was that prior to the video?
Yes, it was because of the video. The video was about IMVU and this one predator. I made it about him and him alone.
IMVU is a game, right? You played the game and you exposed this guy.
Yes.
Do you mind walking me through the chain of events that led from your video to him being imprisoned?
Yeah, so I dropped the video. The end of the video is a call to action. Usually all my videos are a call to action, like find him, and we did.
So in this case, find him meant like you didn't know who he was. You wanted his doc so he could go to jail.
All we had was his face and his voice.
Right.
And out of that, I said find him, and then within 24 hours, we found him. And then I started social engineering all of his friends to give me.
The reason he probably asked for the clip because if Nick didn't have it, he could have lied more. He can't really lie. He can't really lie to YouTubers who have a back catalog of shit like the Oreo.
His information, and they did. And then we pegged him. He fled to Mexico. We found where he was in Mexico. I don't know if the police. He was from Canada, so I don't know if the police asked him to come back.
That's how terrible people are.
I don't know if the police asked him to come back, or he went on his own volition, or they forced him to come back. I don't know any of those details. I just know he went back to Canada and was in police custody for a certain amount of time.
So you lied.
So that was what I was told through Instagram posts when I was in contact with his friends.
You didn't remember that until I showed you the clip. You didn't remember that because this is your biggest crown achievement that you got a pedophile arrested.
I didn't remember the details. No, I just remember he fled to Mexico. All the police
What do you
shit. That was only shit.
mean you don't remember the This is your crowning moment. Fuck.
Yeah, that's not cool. You can let people know I think that. I mean, we literally had him in a voice call. Like it's like the Mega Drive. Like it's literally us saying we're 14 years old. He's saying, "Yeah, I want you to ride me," and shit like that.
Oh,
he thinks he's a 14-year-old, and we verified that by telling him like, I don't know, I'm young, I'm only 14. I think that should be sufficient to put him in prison. But the law says otherwise, I suppose, because as far as I know, he hasn't been imprisoned, and people have been. I received an email that someone was going to talk to the deputy about why he hasn't been arrested, and I'm also actually going to start interviewing police local to me as to don't get arrested because I know they all want to arrest them. It's just the law binds them.
So you've never actually gotten a pedophile arrested?
Not to my knowledge.
He doesn't even know if he had any arrests under his belt. So for a person to blatantly lie about this kind of shit, this very serious stuff is obviously things that are going to bring every single aspect of his character into serious question. Now, he fails to tell the survivor story in a proper manner. What really also burns me is Max's incompetence to using actual proper research. He literally brings ChatGPT and believes that it can provide legal advice.
Alright, let's see, what is this?
What horseshit.
Okay, so look at what I just sent you.
Yeah, you sent me a ChatGPT prompt, not a fucking legal definition.
I mean, we can argue legal semantics.
No,
all
we're
we
not
want.
arguing semantics. We have to look at exact definition, Max. This is the problem with this situation. You're going in with evidence that can't be 100% corroborated. You're going in with allegations as an evidence. Courts would laugh you out.
We talking to your lawyer, ChatGPT?
Yeah, is this the lawyer?
What's going on?
Like right here, bro. Come on, you can't. You know, if I make a video on this, this is what I have to work with. How do you honestly think I can take your side logically? If tomorrow I was like, oh, where's Max getting his legal definitions? Oh, ChatGPT. By the way, ChatGPT has also been getting fucking dumber over the last few months. I mean, come on.
If the judge and jury find a witness statement credible, they can charge or convict you of a crime based solely on witness testimony alone. That is from BergenCriminalAttorney.com. Y'all can look it up.
Show me that.
The problem with doing that is that you should have did that instead of sitting a fucking ChatGPT link.
Show me that definition, not the ChatGPT. Why do you not bring me that one?
I am giving you multiple.
Give me that. Give me the one from the legal definition. Why do you bring me ChatGPT? Link me that right now. We'll read it together.
ChatGPT understands the legal system.
Now, and of course, in one situation,
Something's gonna give me a stroke. I don't know what it's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be this. I don't know if it's gonna be the brick. Something gonna hurt me. After this, I need to take a nap.
Max was also in his own controversy with various ex-relationships of his life, which if Max believes that accusations are evidence, or allegations are evidence, behavior can be evidence, then all these 5 girls that were bringing allegations against him, Max might be what they claim. These allegations were brought forward by the victims, but organized by someone named Magnetar, a boyfriend of one of the victims at the time. Max outed Magnetar as Anthony and accused him of pedophilia.
Anthony, Haley's boyfriend, Magnetar on YouTube, the one who published this video on me.
One of the worst crimes imaginable. And it might have been okay if that was just one screw-up, but as of recently, he still made more unsubstantiated claims.
To me, that was a poetic ending, is that this guy who put all my exes together literally has a testimony against him, and not only by one person, it's supported by multiple people, and there are now news stories coming about that he was sneaking into his high school as an adult, eating lunch with freshmen.
But you're trying to use other people, that there was multiple people coming out against Magnetar to try to bolster your argument. But there were many more people who came out against you. So I just
without evidence, and although the burden of proof was on them, I provided the evidence.
Wait, what was your evidence against Magnetar?
Max's account and evidence against Magnetar at the time amounted to a witness statement over Twitter, and that was all he really had to bring. He made a serious allegation, and even then he followed up in his video that he wasn't going to continue investigating because there wasn't enough actual evidence.
But I've not made a video on him, despite wanting to all these years, because I do not want to harass them, and I feel this is not enough evidence to build an entire case against him. So I have not and will not until we have more proof.
Max made an unsubstantiated claim against Magnetar without sufficient proof, showed a bunch of his photos, gave out his full name, place of work, and basically ruined this person's life. Now look, I have no idea what the truth of the situation is, right? But what I do know is Max made an unsubstantiated claim, and I made a very severe mistake of not looking into this at the time and giving a friend of mine a serious softball at the time. In reality, I talked about this on an episode of our podcast, and without intention downplayed a serious situation, not just for Magnetar, but for some of Max's ex-girlfriends in that situation. And for that, I'm beyond sorry. If you call someone a, which he did, make sure it's 100%. In the last 24 hours, Max made a video titled, I'm taking accountability into my own hands. Now there's a few things I want to address from this video, because for the most part, in my opinion, it's mostly him not really taking any accountability other than for basically bringing Charlie into something that he never needed to be in the first place. There's 2 things I want to address from this that really drive me insane.
Let's just start from the beginning. I met Spencer. She told me what happened to her. I told her I was busy with other projects, but if you need me to hand this to someone else, I will. She said, no, I want you. And so, a few years later, I finally came back and I was like, okay, are you ready? And we did the podcast.
How is it that you can waste 3 years on what could have been a solid investigation and decide to cover other content that people are now questioning the characteristics of, content that you have admitted to us is presented in a factually, misleading way, where we have to sift between fact and fiction, when you had something real? If you could put the case, something you believe so serious, off for 3 years, why do you give the average creator 3 weeks to figure things out? I've actually known more about this case in the last 48 hours than I have in the last 2 months. I even found a YouTube channel through the help of one of the victims that reached out to me, and they showed me how, yes, one of these channels exists, and how they predate on girls in the Georgia area. These are things that slowly are being built up. I'll get to that later. The other point is this.
But you can't just tell your story anymore. Now you need concrete evidence. Now you need to go to law enforcement multiple times. Now you need to consult with lawyers. We can't just listen to survivors when they're screaming for help.
Yes, you do need evidence. This is such a misleading thing by him. Yes, I get it. People do listen to survivors. There's nothing stopping the story of survivors being out there. You have put it out there, 4 to 5 hours. But beyond putting the story out there, if you want people to join your call to action and start going after and publicizing somebody who you are calling some of the worst names imaginable, then they need more than witness testimonies. They need corroborative evidence that can actually seal the deal or make a reasonable case against somebody. This is not some podunk crime we're accusing somebody of. This is the worst possible crime that somebody can commit. And everybody, including you, needs to have all of their T's crossed and I's dotted. This is a massive concern. Yes, we live in a world where evidence is also required alongside the story that is provided. And that's just how the world has always worked and how the world continues to work. It's one of the reasons why you were able to exonerate yourself and people didn't just blindly believe the allegations against you. If we lived in your world, Max, you would be one of the guiltiest parties imaginable. With that said, though, this video is getting on long enough, so I want to kind of touch upon one more clip that I'm still actually trying to process.
Well, I'm asking why you did not directly contact me, but contact us only in public streams.
Let's see, I contacted you November 27th. Max, I've seen your latest video. I caught up with this whole situation. I have texted you.
What it felt like seeing him on streams?
You went on with Tommy and Lyrics and are sitting there talking to them when you literally haven't spoken to the other survivors.
Hold on, can you put Max on for a second?
I'm right here.
That was snaky as fuck, dude. Oh, I'm coming after you. Stand back, Spencer. Can you tell him what you felt? You are literally just a little
because it literally,
dude.
can you listen to me? Can you listen to me? It was so fucking heartbreaking hearing Musa sit there and say that, oh, if this is fake, then I'll gladly put money towards Camden's defamation trial.
Yeah, if it's fake.
I thought you said it's fine with saying it's allegedly. Now all of a sudden,
it's
there's
real.
no like, side of the story.
How do you feel? How do you think that it makes myself and the other survivors feel when you're saying that? It is okay to think that, but you're going publicly and saying that to everybody else when you haven't spoken to the others. I'm just trying to understand, why would you do that without talking to us?
I've spoken with Max. Max is your representative. Max is supposed to be the one bringing the story across to everyone. And yes, if in the case that everything is actually, why is it your job? Because you're the one who's like, spearheading this. Fine, you're the one spearheading it. What do you mean? Fine, give it to Spencer's channel. Spencer, you upload this whole thing.
Why is it my job? Why is it my job? Why, if I'm somebody who's, big magnifying glass, like eye to the ground, looking for clues as to why motherfuckers are faking hate crimes, and I'm the journalist, and you motherfuckers come to me with all this information about stories pertaining to that, and I look at you and I say, well, why are you bringing this to me? It's because you fit the description of what you've been selling people on.
Person who's running the investigation. This is your investigate this as well, and you haven't.
Yeah, why are you putting it all on me? Like, yes,
You're the fucking one bringing it. Why are you talking about this
I'm
case?
the first one.
Yeah.
I do not want to be the only one.
Well, then you are the only one. You haven't convinced. Exactly. You haven't made anything
I've
happen.
been listening to them. I've been trying to set up a call like this for months.
Yeah, and I've had a 2-hour-long call, and I'm not moving anywhere close to the situation. In fact, I have more questions.
Why can't you take initiative to talk to other survivors?
Well, I'm talking to you right now more than anybody else. I want to address one comment I made here for Spencer, and another apology I want to make. I can understand how she could be frustrated, and any of these potential survivors, hearing that I would pay for a defamation case. In reality, this is a heated moment, as you can imagine, where it's basically a big fuck you to Max. Throughout actually investigating this entire situation, to me, I find it wholly disrespectful that people will put actual effort. I will do my absolute damnedest to come with all the evidence I have. And anytime I do an investigation, and Max is playing incredibly loose. All I've seen is a character here that has made a mockery out of serious investigations, covered things with no due diligence, and in fact, if anything, has made unsubstantiated claims. To be honest with you, Max is on a thin rope, and this kind of a thin rope ultimately leads to collateral damage for everybody else involved. Making claims like this and causing a big mockery of the situation ultimately puts the case that is being built at risk, and I don't think Max is intelligent enough to truly realize this, and this is where this comment comes out of frustration. Speaking with more of the victims after this call myself, I feel—
Listen to this, he's loading a gun? What is wrong with you?
feel very disgusted hearing any more about the situation and the things that have been alleged to go behind it, which is why I'm doing my due diligence to at least try and help these victims out, but privately, not a public spectacle like Max is doing. Now, to say that I'm not flashbanged still by this clip is beyond me. Now, I have no ill will against any of the victims. I have no ill will against Spencer for even saying whatever she said to me in this moment. I actually put more of the blame towards Max since he's the investigator and lead charge of this entire process. This all falls on his shoulders. To say that I'm not doing enough when I've spent 2 hours of my life in that call, I've talked to 2 other victims, and I've also researched what this cult is. And again, I've learned more about it in the last 48 hours than I have in the last 2 months. Look, I'm not an expert, and I can't claim to be doing anything that is genuinely super involved in a case like this. But I guess to end this off on somewhat of a positive note, I don't know what to say other than I have tried to give my time, my energy, and I will continue to do it in a liaison capacity. Look, there are people that are trained for this. Lawyers, cops, even other YouTubers who've worked with lawyers and cops regarding similar situations like this. And all I can say is, given my time and tenure on YouTube, the people that I've worked with, I've built connections. And what I can do is utilize those connections to allow people to actually investigate this case. But at no point is anything that I'm going to be doing anymore regarding the situation public. I'm never going to be making a follow-up video, and I never am looking for any apology or reconciliation from Max. To be honest with you, I absolutely dislike how he's handled this, and it's left a serious bad taste in my mouth. With that said, all I can do is try to handle this situation and assist these victims and survivors privately, whether that be at least even paying for a legal team to bring this to a law enforcement team, or working with people that can work with actual cops to investigate this matter with the respect it deserves, and hopefully gain justice for the parties that feel that they have been wronged. Ladies and gentlemen, I have nothing more to say. Max is a prime example of a YouTuber that has let his ego go way far beyond than it should have. He has taken a serious situation and made a complete mockery out of it. And ultimately, I don't really think that he has a place on this platform. With the kind of content that he's made and the kind of profiteering he's done on serious topics, I have less respect for him than everyone else that I've covered in the past. That said, this is me, Mudahar, and I'm out. Today's video is the most serious—
Whoa, I didn't expect you to go all the way back to the beginning. Class, we've learned a lot this stream. We've learned a lot the past, 3 streams. About a lot. We've learned more about the egotistical nature of content creators and how once they get a little bit too big, they become morons. We've learned that bricks were never thrown at anyone. Water bottles could really do damage. But I think the most important lesson we could learn is that you need to keep your motherfucking hands to yourself.
Today's video is the most—
Shut up, Mudahar. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I'm going to bed. I've had enough. I've had enough for the past number of hours. I need break. I need break. I wish I could get a hug, but you know what? I'll hug myself to sleep on a cool brim January morning/afternoon. Like the stream on your way out, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Good night.